Hey, welcome to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. Check out our playlist for more amazing novels and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new audiobook. Now, let's dive into today's story. Chapter 201 Yao Guang is numb. Oh, seeing the opponent's jade hand disappear, Chen Feng let out a sigh. How come it's still disappearing? How embarrassing. Seeing Chen Feng still standing there, calm, looking at him indifferently, Yao Guang's chest kept rising and falling, and she hadn't been so angry for many years. The human beings in front of us are obviously not simple. But based on this, if you want to deal with her, you still underestimate her. Uncle, you succeeded in irritating me. How dare you do this to me? I will grab your hand and twist it into a rope to show you what pain is. Yao Guang gritted his teeth and cursed angrily, and then Chen Feng saw that countless stars in the sky began to become brighter, one of which was the most dazzling, and the starlight instantly spanned countless distances and condensed on Yao Guang's body. The girl's aura continued to expand. It was an extremely strange power. It was obviously not violent at all, but it made people feel an unparalleled sense of suffocation. It's like an ant appearing in front of a celestial body and star. Just one look at it will make you impressed. And the Yao Guang in front of me is exactly that kind of star. Chen Feng is just a stronger mortal. Mirror, take Nana and leave. I'll handle it here. Seeing the stars gathering together, Chen Feng showed a solemn look on his face for the first time. Dad, I won't leave. If we die, let's die together. Chen Nana was the first to fly forward with a determined look. Like her mother, the elves love peace, but they are not cowards. The mirror on the side also appeared next to Chen Feng, wanting to express his attitude. Seeing this scene, although Chen Feng was moved, he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He touched his daughter's little head and said with a smile, "What are you thinking about?" "Dad, I'm afraid it will affect you. A guy like this is no match for Dad." As he spoke, his hair suddenly changed color, and the golden aura around him burned fiercely. In an instant, the aura increased 100 times. It is the super blue star human form. Seeing that her father could actually transform into her brother, Chen Nana was stunned. "Ah, Dad, you can do this too." Hearing his daughter's doubts, Chen Feng smiled and said, "Your brother inherited my genes. If he can do it, I will naturally do it too. Don't worry, you should leave first. This is not a battle that you can get involved in." As he spoke, he looked into the mirror. Feeling Chen Feng's explosive terrifying strength, Jing swallowed. "I know, Master Chen Feng." Chen Nana was also a little relieved and reminded, "Dad, you have to be careful." "Yeah, it's okay." Chen Feng waved his hand and sent the two of them tens of thousands of miles away. Then he looked at Yao Guang in front of him, only to find that his eyelids were twitching wildly as he looked at Chen Feng, whose strength suddenly surged 100 times. She felt a hint of death threat from Chen Feng's current transformed form. After all, the power he is gathering now is not as powerful as Chen Feng. If the other party takes action now, he will definitely be hit hard. But when she was extremely vigilant, she found that Chen Feng had his arms folded and continued to look at her, with admiration and fighting intent in his eyes. This guy. Damn it. He didn't even make any moves and allowed me to improve my strength. Damn, he looks down on me. Yao Guang was even more angry, and her chest almost exploded with anger. She felt that she was despised and looked down upon. The humans in front of her actually regarded her as a lamb to be slaughtered, a weakling without a doubt. What a shame. Human, do you know what you are doing? Seeing that the other party was even more frantic, Chen Feng also touched his nose helplessly. "I know, so you should improve your strength quickly. Don't blame me for not giving you a chance." Chen Feng's tone was full of dissoluteness and ridicule. Reason told him that it was the best choice to deal with the other party now and take him back to his own little world for farming. But once he transformed, he felt that his mentality had also changed. In his super blue star state, he is extremely eager to fight. Now, he just hopes that the other party will quickly improve his strength and then have a hearty battle with him. Let yourself have a good time. This is completely a side effect of the transformation. Chen Feng secretly thought to himself, as the saying goes, people like to wander after they transform. And I know that I am cheating, but I can't change it. And Yao Guang is already desperately absorbing the energy of the starry sky. She must smash the head of the man in front of her, trample him under her feet, and sing the song of conquest on her knees. You wanna die. As the starlight finally condensed to a power that surpassed Chen Feng's, the starlight in the sky no longer scattered, and Yao Guang's figure became extremely solid, and the aura above it was even more terrifying. She roared angrily and charged towards Chen Feng. She punched Chen Feng in the head with all her strength. This is her first close combat, and it also represents her ultimate anger. Well done. Chen Feng felt the powerful and heavy punch, and there was fighting intent in his eyes. He could see that this simple punch had terrifying power that could destroy ordinary true gods. He took half a step back with his right foot. The cells all over his body were extremely excited at this moment, and his energy was even more heightened. He slapped the opponent's fist to catch it. He wanted to try how hard the opponent's punch was. Boom! A strong air current instantly broke the peaceful night. The girl's slender figure was particularly dazzling in the starlight. Her clenched fist condensed all the power, like a meteor piercing the night sky, and blasted towards Chen Feng with unstoppable power. Chen Feng connected his palms with his fists. The two possessed the most terrifying power, but they were using the simplest moves to attack each other. At the moment when the fists and palms met, it seemed that time and space were distorted by this force. A deafening loud noise echoed in the night sky, and the shock wave spread out. The trees and rocks within thousands of kilometers around were like this force. Paper paste turned into powder in an instant. Even the entire outer battlefield saw an aurora suddenly appear in the sky. That is a special phenomenon caused by strong force. At this moment, Chen Feng's strength could only hold on to the opponent for less than an instant. He felt a huge force running down his arm, directly towards his body, reaching his lungs and heart, and then continued downward and upward. You must know that this is the perfect fusion of all his superpowers on his body, which is an almost indestructible body, plus the super blue star human form. Still, he was knocked unconscious with one punch. What a heavy punch. This strength exceeds 100 million tons. Damn, this isn't a girl, it's a planet, right? Chen Feng felt numb all over and flew out, cursing. But when the girl saw that the other party had received her punch, nothing happened at all. She was just knocked away, and her face became even more angry. Because she rubbed her little hands. Although she had gained a huge advantage with the punch just now, the huge counterattack force also made her arms sore. The countless shocks to her body in an instant made her look a little uncomfortable. Good. Her whole body felt numb, and it was like being electrocuted, which made her cheeks turn red. She shook her head, gritted her teeth and continued to catch up with Chen Feng. Son of a bitch. I don't believe it anymore, why don't I beat you up? Chapter 202 Super Blue Star Man Beyond the Limits of Super Blue Star Man. Isn't this saint of the Star Clan really the reincarnation of the stars? Chen Feng took a punch from the opponent and saw the opponent attack again. The whole world seemed to be centered on her, and the surrounding environment became bleak. Yao Guang's body is like hundreds of millions of tons, and the surrounding time and space are distorted by her flying figure at high speed. Boom. Human, kneel down. Seeing that the opponent was even faster than him, Chen Feng suddenly punched his leg. Chen Feng quickly kicked him out. The fists and kicks were so intense that Chen Feng's whole leg was numb. But the other party was still unwilling to let go. He grabbed Chen Feng's ankle and began to spin violently. How dare you kick me? I'll ride on my horse and throw you to death, you bastard. Yao Guang is no longer as calm as before, and his violent attributes are fully activated. Chen Feng's body was grabbed by her and began to rotate 360 degrees. Buzz. Chen Feng's whole body was like a top, spinning tens of thousands of times in 1 second. A huge tornado appeared around them with them as the core, and even the space began to rupture. It's hard to imagine how much power Yao Guang's small body contains. Chen Feng also felt a little dizzy. Under the opponent's huge strength, his body has withstood countless times of force, and blood is pouring into his head uncontrollably. As for his various powers, they were directly dissipated by the starlight around Yao Guang as soon as he used them. Interesting. This star clan has directly crushed the existence of this world system, and the superpowers are of no use to them. It's no wonder that the system allows me to integrate the small world and many abilities at the same time. Although I haven't succeeded yet, I won't suffer any losses for the time being as I have the super blue star human form. After Chen Feng thought everything through, he was ready to transform again. At the same time, he felt that somewhere in the dark corner, something seemed to be emerging. Is this your ultimate strength? I'm very disappointed. Chen Feng's words fell into Yao Guang's ears, causing his eyes to widen and the bangs on his forehead to swell. Yeah, then you should try to resist. Don't pretend to be dead there. Obviously she didn't believe that Chen Feng still had the strength to fight her, thinking that the other party was just being tough. After all, many of the other party's powers were of no use to her, and this transformation had also happened. You can't transform twice, right? But as soon as she thought of this possibility, she suddenly noticed that Chen Feng's demeanor suddenly changed. Yao Guang felt that the opponent's aura had increased several times again, and the yellow aura on Chen Feng's body was also more fierce, and his hairstyle had become longer and stood up high. In an instant, Chen Feng was out of her control. A big foot kicked directly towards Yao Guang's towering chest. When Yao Guang saw his powerful and heavy kick, his face turned pale and he crossed his arms to try to resist. But Chen Feng's strength has improved again. He kicked her arms off with one kick, and the huge force sent her flying backwards, like a meteor falling to the ground. As Yao Guang's figure landed, the ground suddenly exploded. Where Yao Guang's figure retreated violently, a terrain hundreds of kilometers wide like a great rift valley appeared. Yao Guang was in pain, his body retreated uncontrollably, and a trace of blood oozed from the corner of his mouth. But her eyes were fixed on Chen Feng in the distance. This human being will really transform for the second time. What exactly is going on? His appearance has not changed much, so why has his strength doubled again? Chen Feng's changes were obviously beyond her understanding. Normal transformations involve growing larger, or transforming into another race, or using more powerful power. This was the first time she had seen such a transformation. Just like dyeing your hair, can this also improve your strength? Chen Feng saw her doubts and smiled. Even after transforming into the second form, this smile seemed a bit cold. You look down on my human race, don't you? I'm telling you, I was in super blue star form before. And now it is a super blue star who has surpassed the limits of a super blue star. Hearing this unspeakable name, Yao Guang also tried to repeat it, a super blue star who has surpassed the limits of a super blue star. WTF. Damn, you hurt me. Yao Guang finally stopped retreating, but this time she did not kill Chen Feng again, but once again used her strength towards the stars in the sky. At the same time, she looked at Chen Feng provocatively. If you have the ability, please let me improve my strength. Let's fight fair. You wouldn't dare, would you? When Chen Feng saw that she was still using aggressive tactics, he stopped and looked at her with interest. This Yao Guang can actually improve his strength, which is really extraordinary. He secretly thought to himself that he must capture the other party during this trip, and then let the other party give birth to his cubs. StarClan's cubs are probably born to be amazing beings. Now he said directly and generously, I can give you this opportunity, but if you are not my opponent yet, I will not be polite. Yao Guang was overjoyed to hear that Chen Feng was really willing to give him time. But she obviously didn't understand the meaning of Chen Feng's words. What did you mean by, you're welcome? Stars, please give me your power. In the name of love and tranquility, I am willing to change all the ugliness and darkness in the world. Using kindness and compassion as a lamp, I would like to illuminate the darkness of others and warm every cold soul. The long river of time, please take me through the complicated reality and let me find inner tranquility and peace. Hearing Yao Guang's mouth murmuring some strange words, Chen Feng also stared at the stars in the sky. Star Clan, did they come from all the stars? Doesn't that mean the entire universe belongs to them? Chen Feng thought of this terrible possibility and shook his head. Impossible. At most, the power of several stars has been borrowed by them. Thinking of this, he found that Yao Guang's power had improved again and he was about to surpass him. However, he did not interrupt the other party. Under Yao Guang's excited eyes, Chen Feng asked with a smile, improve enough at once, otherwise I won't give you another chance. Seeing that Chen Feng still looked contemptuous of him, Yao Guang almost stopped improving in anger. Seeing her chest rising and falling, Chen Feng said again, To tell you the truth, your current strength is not enough. If you don't believe it, I'll show you the next form. Next form. Do you have another form? Yao Guang was dumbfounded when she heard that she had already transformed twice and could still transform, but Chen Feng's confident voice made it impossible for her to question it. Of course. I'm afraid you'll gather energy in vain, so I'll show it to you now. So that you can feel despair. Then under her incredible gaze, Chen Feng clenched his fists and shouted angrily. Ho 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 ho. Along with Chen Feng's roar, the surrounding air seemed to be pulled by an invisible force and began to tremble and twist violently. A more powerful and violent arrogance spurted out from Chen Feng's body. This arrogance was even hotter and more dazzling than that of Super Blue Star Man 2, as if even the surrounding space was distorted and deformed by its burning. Chapter 203 Super Blue Star Man who surpassed the limit of Super Blue Star Man. Ho ha ho ha ho ha ho. As Chen Feng's strength continued to increase, his whole body shone with golden light, and his arrogance rose, causing Chen Feng's hair to begin to undergo strange changes. The hair that was originally as straight as needles gradually grew longer under the influence of arrogance. Each hair seemed to be injected with life, dancing freely and growing directly to Chen Feng's thighs. At the same time, Chen Feng's muscles also began to undergo significant changes. His body became taller and stronger, and his muscle lines became more distinct, as if every inch of muscle contained explosive power. This change is not only in appearance, but also an improvement in inner strength, making Chen Feng far superior in strength, speed and endurance to his previous Super Blue Star form. Chen Feng's eyes also became sharper and firmer. His pupils seemed to be burning with blazing flames as he stared at Yao Guang. I really want to fight you right now, are you ready? You are too slow. I don't want to wait for you anymore. Chen Feng's expression was extremely cold at this moment, even more so than the previous Super Blue Star second stage. This is also a side effect of his transformation. Every time he improves his form, the fighting spirit in his heart cannot be suppressed. Hey. Yao Guang also noticed the changes in Chen Feng. This human seemed to become more indifferent every time he transformed. Now he looked at him more like he was looking at a dead person. Especially the opponent's strength has once again skyrocketed several times. You must know that at this stage of their combat effectiveness, an increase of 10% is already excellent, an increase of 30% is already awesome, and a temporary increase of 50% is incredible. The Chen Feng in front of him was doing well, his price had risen many times at a time. It seems to be very durable. This made her swallow lightly. It seems that I am no match for this human being. Brother, you've transformed again. It's really cool, yeah. Can you tell me what transformation form you are in? Nothing else, I just want to know how cool a name is for such a cool transformation. Yao Guang not only softened his tone now, but also tried to gather energy for himself to delay some more time, so he took the initiative to strike up a conversation with Chen Feng. Seeing her very curious look, Chen Feng thought about it for a while, and then said, I usually call this the Super 3 form. Yao Guang was stunned when he heard this, Super 3 form. This is also too short. Brother, didn't you just say something about transcendence and transcendence? After hearing this, Chen Feng also thought about it carefully. Are you asking for the full name? The full name should be the Super Blue Star who has surpassed the limits of Super Sailor Blue Star. Yao Guang added the word, transcendence, when he heard it, secretly thinking that the name was really long and earthy. But for the sake of his life, Yao Guang had to continue to delay time. Super Blue Star people who have surpassed the limits of Super Blue Star people. He's really handsome. It matches your name very well, big brother. It's really good. Hearing the other party's compliment, Chen Feng had no expression on his face. He could see the other party's little thoughts. He immediately stepped forward and came to Yao Guang. In the face of the other party's frightened eyes, Chen Feng pointed at the starlight above. He said seriously, you seem to have less and less energy. Hearing this, Yao Guang's expression changed and she looked into the air. Several stars that sent her energy became weaker and weaker, and even the light of her natal star, Yao Guang, became dim. And her body felt like it was bursting at the seams, and she couldn't bear it anymore. But compared to Chen Feng's Super 3, this kind of power is obviously not enough. She immediately stopped absorbing energy and said with a sad face, "Brother, there may be some misunderstanding between us. Look, I didn't hurt your daughter either. You also punched me several times and kicked me. How about forget it?" The only response he received was Chen Feng's sudden punch. Boom! Chen Feng's powerful and heavy punch hit Yao Guang's right face directly without any hesitation. At that moment, Yao Guang's cute and smooth face was instantly dented by the punch. At the same time, Chen Feng's right fist also hit her left face. When Yao Guang's anger was only halfway rising, Chen Feng's knee had already landed on her lower abdomen. A strong sense of grievance and pain came over instantly. Yao Guang looked at Chen Feng's very cold face in disbelief. "I see there's no misunderstanding. You just want to do harm to my human race. You're here, just leave me here." As he spoke, a huge shock wave appeared in Chen Feng's right hand. This is a move he started studying after he could transform. A huge energy ball instantly formed in his hand, and then a burst of flash directly submerged Yao Guang's body. Boom! Not only was Chen Feng's strength strengthened, but his speed was also instantly higher than before. A set of combination skills made Yao Guang's scalp numb, especially the last shock wave, which she could not resolve at all. And within it, there is even more energy that can obliterate her. Starlight Bodyguard. Feeling the danger of death, Yao Guang's body instantly curled up, resisting Chen Feng's impacting light ball. At the same time, the starlight on her surface continued to discharge the huge destructive energy. With the help of Chen Feng's strength, she rolled back directly, wanting to leave completely. "This place is not for StarClan. The information given to me by the Holy Land is wrong. Who wants to harm me? I'll go back and kill him. Is this human race something we can mess with?" Yao Guang ran away quickly and began to curse. Not to mention other human beings, Chen Feng in front of him is the biggest pervert. "Not long after we met, I have already transformed 3 times. And every time he transforms, the other party's murderous intention becomes even greater. Who knows if he can continue to transform." But while she was still cursing, Chen Feng, who was behind her, suddenly disappeared. The next moment, Chen Feng had already appeared in the air where she flipped, predicting her position in advance. Space powers. No. What kind of move is this? While Yao Guang was still frightened and angry, Chen Feng had already held up his hands, clenched his fingers, and slammed them down like playing volleyball. Yao Guang was extremely desperate when he saw that fist as big as a sandbag was about to open the gourd for him. But the next moment, she noticed that Chen Feng's movements were a little slower. When her buttocks came up, he suddenly slammed down. Ouch! Yao Guang let out a scream of shame and anger, and his whole body turned into a ball again and blasted towards the ground. A crater tens of thousands of meters deep formed instantly. Damn it! An angry shout came from inside. Compared with the physical pain, Yao Guang's psychological trauma made it even harder for her to accept. This human being dares to eat my tofu. I fought with him too. Chapter 204 finally appears. Void creature. I'm going to fight him. With anger, Yao Guang flew out of the pit like a rocket and hit Chen Feng. I'm going to kill you, bastard. Yao Guang's silver teeth are about to be broken at this moment. She has turned her grief and anger into strength, and now she feels terrifyingly strong. Unfortunately, Chen Feng still had a cold expression on his face, keeping his feet shoulder-width apart to maintain body balance. His body leaned forward slightly, his eyes stared forward, and his hands slowly stretched forward, with palms facing each other and fingers slightly apart. A powerful wave of energy began to condense in his hands. A ball of energy light suddenly appeared in the palm of his hand. Ha! Chen Feng's expression showed extreme indifference. With an angry shout, while Yao Guang was still in the air, she saw the sky full of white light, which seemed to blind her eyes, but then there was a huge bombardment heading towards her. When the two came into contact, Yao Guang's body was instantly submerged. Ah! It hurts, it hurts. Yao Guang, who was enveloped by the energy ball, once again transformed his body into a ball shape and crashed towards the ground. This form rotated like a planet and could relieve most of the force. But even so, she still penetrated deep into the ground again. Oh, it hurts, it hurts. Yao Guang knelt down on one knee. At this moment, blood was spilling from her forehead, and she could no longer bear it. But Chen Feng still looked at her condescendingly. Isn't this okay? Then you can only be destroyed. Then a ball of energy light appeared in his palm again. But this time, hundreds of light balls emerged together. If you really kill me, our Star Clan will never let you go. Unfortunately, her threats were of no use. In Yao Guang's desperate eyes, those light balls were like countless dazzling little suns, and they began to bombard down towards her. Monster, this is a monster. Is his energy infinite? Damn it, I was careless. This time besides the void, there were also these terrifying humans. If he fights so hard against me, it won't end well later. Yao Guang's murmur was not heard by Chen Feng. She didn't think that Chen Feng, who had gone crazy with murder, would let her go. Soon, countless energy light balls were like angry meteors, pouring down from the sky with a roar of destruction and violently bombarding the ground. Every impact seemed to be like a thunderous force erupting in an instant, shaking the entire earth and making it tremble in pain. The air twisted and vibrated under the impact of this force, forming shock waves visible to the naked eye, spreading crazily around. Boom 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 boom. Along with Chen Feng's insane bombardment, the deep pits on the ground became larger and larger, spreading continuously, and the circular pits on the entire ground continued to expand. Within thousands of kilometers, no living thing could survive such an impact. But Chen Feng seemed to be tireless, and the energy in his body was constantly venting. Ah da 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 da. Hearing Chen Feng's frantic voice in the air, Yao Guang's body finally began to change. Her body gradually became solid. Under the strong impact, colorful divine light overflowed from her body. Ah da 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 da. Chen Feng still continued to vent his terrifying energy. He seemed to be destroying everything around him. It wasn't until a few minutes later that Chen Feng stopped bombarding and looked down panting. Hoo. I saw that this area had been bombarded by him into a huge abyss hundreds of kilometers deep. Chen Feng also felt exhausted and sweat was flowing all over his body. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. The blonde hair on his back gradually shone, the knee-length hair began to shorten, returning to the appearance of black hair, and the golden arrogance on Chen Feng's body also began to disappear. Chen Feng returned to normal state. However, at the moment of recovery, it was obvious that the aura around him was much weaker than before, and he was even still breathing heavily. It was obvious that the energy release just now consumed a lot of him. Even his speed seemed to slow down a bit. At the same time, there was a strange light in his eyes, and the corners of his mouth were also slightly curved. But he quickly controlled his expression. Then he looked at the bottom of the abyss and murmured. Not dead yet. What kind of defense is this? Although the distance was far away, he could still feel the faint scent of Yao Guang. Call out. Chen Feng's figure swayed and appeared at the bottom of the abyss. A strong airflow instantly lifted the surrounding rubble away. The Yao Guang at the bottom was revealed, or rather the stone statue. It is said to be a stone statue, but it is surrounded by colorful light, which is still flowing at this moment, between solid and liquid. Yao Guang stood there, still holding his head in his hands, his expression frozen. It looked like gnashing of teeth. Seeing this scene, Chen Feng also stepped forward and looked at the opponent's life-saving trick. While looking at Yao Guang, he murmured. It's similar to my Ruobing's Absolute Zero. They are all life-saving tricks. After saying that, he stepped forward and directly reached out to touch Yao Guang's lovely cheek. It was still soft and smooth, but it was very hot. The temperature was extremely high, like the temperature of the Earth's core. I don't know if she was bombarded too much by myself, or if she was very hot in this form. While Chen Feng was squeezing the other person's beautiful cheeks, he also pinched the other person's waist. The nice touch made him sigh. It's like this, but it still feels good. Good to touch. It would be nice to take it back. Hearing this, Yao Guang's body trembled slightly. Although it was very subtle, Chen Feng still noticed this. He immediately stopped his movements and looked condescendingly into Yao Guang's motionless eyes. Their eyes met. Chen Feng suddenly asked, but I feel like you can still resist. Am I right, Saint Yao Guang? After hearing the other party's question and seeing the other party staring directly at him again, Yao Guang's pupils finally moved. You can really move. When Chen Feng saw this, golden aura flashed around him again, but this time, he only transformed for half a second before returning to normal. At the same time, he was breathing harder, with a hint of helplessness in his eyes. Did you consume too much energy just now? I can't control myself after transforming. This is a side effect. Chen Feng's voice was not loud, but it seemed to be particularly loud at the bottom of the abyss. The moment his transformation failed, not only the Yaoguang stone statue in front of him began to dissolve. Behind him, in endless darkness, something seemed to be moving too. A streak of purple energy seemed to have traveled through countless spaces and times, silently heading towards Chen Feng's back. Not good. Chen Feng shouted angrily, and just as the surrounding space-time powers were about to take action, they saw a purple light curtain covering the entire abyss. Boom! A force of gravity hundreds of millions of times caused the skin all over Chen Feng to burst instantly. Chapter 205. Is this your stupid tactic? Not good. Chen Feng was completely suppressed by gravity at this moment, unable to resist the purple energy behind him. I saw purple energy entering his body instantly, and a purple light suddenly appeared on the skin around him. At the same time, he spit out a mouthful of blood. Damn it! Chen Feng's momentum dropped sharply, and it was obvious that the blow had seriously injured him. The moment Yao Guang transformed into a human form again, she stared at the figures that appeared in the abyss in the distance, and then looked at Chen Feng, who had a look of disbelief in front of her. Her nose was crooked with anger, and she gritted her teeth and cursed, "You did this yourself. Go and die yourself, you bastard." The next moment, her figure turned into a stream of light and fled into the distance. These disgusting guys are finally here. But when she was running away, she remembered Chen Feng's crazy attack that destroyed the world just now. The opponent's attacks seemed very ferocious, but they were always deflected, plowing the ground around her cleanly, but rarely causing actual damage to her. Only a few attacks were too much for her, so she still had a large amount of star power stored after the transformation. All this puzzled her at the time. Even if he falls into a state of madness, it is impossible for a being like Chen Feng to be defeated. She couldn't figure it out, but seeing Chen Feng die like this, she suddenly felt a little uncomfortable. Such a human really deserves to die, but if he is really dead, the void will lose a big enemy. That's it. I don't think you are merciful. Thinking of this, Yao Guang gritted his teeth, took out a ball from his neck, threw it, and smashed it into the distance. If you want to survive, run away now. He let out an angry shout at Chen Feng, and the ball also expanded countless times in size in an instant, growing into a huge planet-like ball in an instant, and smashed towards the void creatures. This planet not only possesses terrifying killing power, but more importantly, it has a terrifying gravitational force. A moment of gravity is enough to strangle most life in this world. Of course, it has some control over opponents of the same level. This is her ultimate move. Whether he can survive or not depends on Chen Feng's fate. Unfortunately, in the moment when the ball flew out, a woman with purple skin disappeared in the distance, seemingly not affected by gravity at all. Her speed was extremely fast. The strange purple wings on her back made her muscular body look particularly weird. Her human body, human appearance, and even her stunning appearance were not inferior to any of Chen Feng's wives. It was the chaotic gray-black look in her eyes, and her palms that instantly moved towards Chen Feng's skin. Destroy it. Humans are really the stupidest creatures. After hearing her lines, Chen Feng's originally horrified expression suddenly changed. Especially when the other party dared to fly into his face, it was really beyond his expectation. There were even some surprises. In the other party's unclear gaze, Chen Feng could see a smile on his lips. Is this your stupid tactic to rush in front of me? Chen Feng's mocking words made the other party frown slightly. And when her fingers crossed Chen Feng's skin, it was like crossing an insurmountable golden iron, making a clanging sound, without causing any harm to Chen Feng at all. Chen Feng's momentum increased again, and this time, his hair did not change color, but reached shoulder length, and at the same time, there were more red hairs all over his body. Chen Feng secretly thought, although he has not yet understood the super god state, Super 4 is enough. At the same time, he grabbed Keisha's arm with his left hand, and hit the opponent's head with a heavy punch with his backhand. Boom! There was a loud noise. Yao Guang suddenly turned around, completely confused. And one of the huge figures chasing Yao Guang was also confused. Three void creatures appeared, and one of them was Kaisarden, who had fought against Hong Emperor before. He was stepping in the void at the moment, just in front of Yao Guang, and was responsible for keeping people. One was a mantis-like creature with countless spikes all over its body, which had just torn the huge planet apart. But at this moment, both of them looked at the daughter of the void, Kesha, in horror. Chen Feng's powerful punch hit the opponent's cheek. The other person's head. It exploded directly. Chen Feng was also a little confused when he saw the head exploded in front of him and the purple-black blood splashing around. Because just now a reminder popped into his mind. Question mark. Ding. A suitable wife candidate is detected, Kesha, the contaminated daughter of the void. If you take the opponent down, you will receive a special reward. You can't help but beat me. Chen Feng was also a little confused. Although I have improved my strength, it is not enough. If you beat him to death now, how can you take down the opponent in the future? You can't die, right? Still headless. Although the rewards are nice, they are really not worth it. Fortunately, when Chen Feng was stunned, a brand new head suddenly grew out of the opponent's neck. The cheeks that were extremely beautiful just now are now filled with anger and hatred. Seeing this scene, Chen Feng also laughed. It can still heal, right? Good vitality. But Kesha was not in a good mood. Damn humans. Void plasma. Go to hell. Her figure retreated violently, and at the same time, her wings and arms released countless amounts of plasma and struck at Chen Feng. The seemingly simple void plasma can corrode the surrounding space and appear directly on Chen Feng's body in a strange state that transcends time and space. It is impossible to guard against it. Seeing that his body was covered in plasma and was still being corroded, Chen Feng stopped pretending. I seem to have overestimated you. As Chen Feng spoke, the surrounding plasma gradually melted and turned into purple energy, which was absorbed into his body. Soon it turned into extremely pure energy. This is his true strength. After the continuous integration of the small world, any energy can now be digested by him, and he can also instantly absorb the energy of heaven and earth to replenish his physical strength. Not to mention that it is full blood in 1 second, but it is no problem to recover 30 to 40% in 1 second. This is because his body is too strong. In the next moment, he appeared in front of Kesha, and without mercy, he punched the opponent's head suddenly. If you can't hit it to death, then hit it to death. Do you really think you can hurt me? Despicable humans. When Chen Feng arrived, Kesha's figure suddenly turned transparent and disappeared, and he couldn't even feel the opponent's energy. Invisible. Or the advanced version of invisibility. But it's not enough in the face of absolute power. Chen Feng didn't give him a chance. Now that the other party has appeared, it's impossible to let him go. His anger suddenly surged, and his expression was crazy. He clenched his hands into fists, and his strength suddenly doubled again. It was like self-destruction, and the area tens of thousands of miles around him completely exploded in an instant. Come out here, accompanied by Chen Feng's godlike roar. The surrounding space and time seemed to be violently distorted by an invisible force, like fragile glass collapsing in an instant. The originally stable space structure began to tremble violently, and cracks spread like spider webs, swallowing everything around it. Time seems to have lost its meaning at this moment, and the speed and slowness are intertwined, making it impossible to distinguish. In this vortex of destruction, everything seems so insignificant. In the sky, the originally bright light was swallowed up, leaving only dim stars twinkling in the distance. The depression in the ground grew deeper and deeper, as if the earth itself was being torn apart by the force. Countless fragments and wreckage were flying in the air, like meteors streaking across the sky, but carrying the aura of death and destruction. There has even been a brief interlacing of time and space. As Chen Feng fully demonstrated his strength for the first time, even Kessadine and Mantis in the distance were injured, with frightened expressions on their faces. Yao Guang looked at Chen Feng with wide eyes. Her pink lips couldn't close together. This is the fourth transformation, and it has improved dozens of times. Kesha, covered in blood, appeared not far away. She looked at Chen Feng with unparalleled horror in her eyes. The other party had appeared in front of her again, grabbing her neck with a big hand. Are you a human or? Chapter 206 I choose the second one. I'm Dad. Seeing Kesha's ugly and twisted expression, Chen Feng actually had little interest in her. System, how do you get this thing? I feel so sick. The Wenyan system also gave its own explanation. Reply to the host, Kesha's soul has been contaminated. It is the queen of the void that controls her body. She needs to use the power of Star Clan to purify it before she can restore her original appearance. In this way, Chen Feng finally understood that Kesha was contaminated by the void. We have to rely on the power of Star Clan. Thinking of this, he used one hand to grab Kesha suddenly. Teleport. Chen Feng thought silently in his heart, and the figure had appeared next to Yao Guang. Since you want to bring them, bring both of them together. Human, you are looking for death. Kesha was just about to struggle when she realized that Chen Feng was extremely strong and couldn't break away at all. She raised her hand to attack Chen Feng when she was slapped in the face by Chen Feng's big mouth. There was a snap. Half of Kesha's face was distorted by the beating. When Yao Guang saw Chen Feng suddenly appearing next to him, his legs trembled slightly. Are you still hiding your strength? Obviously Chen Feng's move caused her to move instantly and let her eat a lot of semen. Kessadine beside him was also numb. This move looks very similar to his. The problem is that Chen Feng seems to be much more skilled than him in using it. Escape. Kessadine was about to run away when he saw Kesha looking at him with murderous intent. Kessadine's face changed instantly. Void pulse. Kessadine was still ready to show his loyalty and used his own trick. Countless void energy condensed in his hands. Unfortunately, before he could release the energy in his hand, a black-red death ray appeared in Chen Feng's eyes, directly piercing through his body. Phew. Purple-black blood spurted out instantly. Feeling his life flowing away, Kessadine disappeared tens of thousands of kilometers away. Never looked back. He should have noticed just now that Mantis has long disappeared. That bastard can escape faster than him. Yao Guang also wanted to escape, but found that Chen Feng had grabbed her neck, and the huge force immediately made her suffocate. Well, what do you want to do? I saved you just now. Hearing this, Chen Feng actually smiled. The time for his trip is coming soon. Those void creatures cannot be eliminated for the time being. I just want to invite you home as a guest. To repay your kindness. Hearing Chen Feng's words, Yao Guang felt his eyes go white before he could refute. He was about to resist, but found that Chen Feng was so angry that he was suppressing himself and could not move at all. And the surrounding space surged instantly. Brush. Appearing again, Yao Guang found that he had lost contact with the stars and appeared in a huge square. There were dozens of women dressed in various costumes around. There were cold royal sisters, aloof goddesses, girl next door types, and lady types, and all the hot types, which made her dumbfounded. Welcome home, husband. When all the beauties saw Chen Feng returning, they were stunned for a moment and all stepped forward to say hello to Chen Feng. Yining and Long Ruobing even stepped forward to give Chen Feng a loving hug. Where is this? They, all, are this man's women. Seeing this scene, Yao Guang was extremely confused. Kesha on the side has become invisible again. Unfortunately, this time, Chen Feng didn't have to get angry. With just a movement of his body, he suddenly stepped down on an open space, and under his feet, Kesha's figure emerged and was stepped on by Chen Feng. Humiliation and resentment were immediately written on her beautiful cheeks. Damn, you still want to run. Now that you're here, don't even think about leaving. Chen Feng has returned to human form at this moment. Although he has not fully integrated, in this small world, he is a godlike existence. When Kesha saw this, her face was distorted. Unfortunately, it was as if a planet had been placed on her body, and she couldn't move at all. However, she still insulted. Humble humans, you will eventually be annihilated by the void. Oh. When Chen Feng saw that she was still dissatisfied, he leaned down and talked loudly. Quite arrogant. You still scold me. I think you won't shed tears until you see the coffin. There was a constant popping sound. Yao Guang on the side also twitched slightly when he saw this. Because just now she discovered that there was also huge pressure on herself. If you dare to act rashly, you will definitely be stepped on. What's more, in this damn place, there is no way to obtain the power of the stars. Chen Feng is stronger. Between positives and negatives, she quickly realized her status. Nowadays, I am a fisherman and a fisherman. Don't mess with Chen Feng. Thinking of this, she looked at the other women around her with a polite smile, Hello, sisters. I am Yao Guang. Seeing her greeting her, the other women also reacted at this moment. Since they are the women brought back by Chen Feng, they should be sisters in the future. Yi Ning acted generously and took the lead to step forward and extend his hand. Hello Yao Guang, I am Yi Ning. The two briefly shook hands. But Chen Feng had already dragged Kesha over like a pig to death. I saw that Kesha was tightly trapped with ropes all around, her limbs and head were tied up, and Cherry's little mouth was sealed. No matter how she resisted, she could not escape Chen Feng's special confinement. Instead, he was kicked in the buttocks by Chen Feng. He rolled over and let out a heavy grunt. Brother Chen Feng, hello. Throwing Kesha in front of Yao Guang, Chen Feng felt a little want to laugh when he saw Yao Guang greeting him politely. We humans have an old saying, he who knows the current affairs is a hero. It seems that you are somewhat of a hero. Hearing Chen Feng's sarcastic voice, Yao Guang still controlled his expression even though he was already cursing in his heart. Ahem, thank you for the compliment. Apparently she is still very sensible. It's a pity that Chen Feng doesn't know how to care about women, so he directly made his own conditions. Since you have come to my territory, I will give you two choices. The first choice is death. Hearing this, Yao Guang immediately shook his head at the speed of light, and his little head shook so fast that it almost flew up. The second one, I choose the second one. Chen Feng was also speechless upon hearing this. I haven't said it yet. Unexpectedly, Yao Guang spread his hands and said with an indifferent expression, humph. It's like this, what else can I do? Just tell me what conditions you have. I do whatever you want, just don't kill me. Chen Feng was very surprised when he heard this. At the same time, he also realized a problem. If he was so happy, there wouldn't be any ghosts, right? For example, during weekend breaks, will the other party attack him? Thinking of the various weird moves of the other star tribe, he had to doubt the possibility. He was not anxious immediately and pointed to Kesha on the ground. It is said that your star clan and the void are incompatible. This guy is a human being corrupted by the void. Is there any way you can purify her and restore her to her original state? Chapter 207 The future belongs to you. When she heard the word purify, Kesha on the ground suddenly twitched. She began to struggle violently again, rolling on the ground. It's a pity that Chen Feng's imprisonment became tighter and tighter the more he struggled. Soon the rope was so tight that Kesha could not breathe, but Chen Feng was too lazy to pay attention to her. Her special skin is obviously able to breathe. How about it? Can it be done? If not, Chen Feng looked at Yao Guang and saw that she was a little silent, so he said calmly. At the same time, a halo of destruction appeared in his hand. Snort. Can I still not do it? But I need to use part of the energy of this world. Seeing his threatening look, Yao Guang gritted his teeth despite being reluctant. That's right. I will release some of your restrictions. Act now, don't waste time. Chen Feng's face showed a kind smile again. No matter whether Yao Guang has some Xiao Juju or not, she can't change the world in her own territory. What's more, he also has an immortal body that he is proud of, as well as partial strengthening. Of course, that will have to wait until the other party has purified Kesha. At this moment, other wives also came forward. Husband, what on earth is going on? Hurry up and tell me. Extraterritorial battlefield. As Yao Guang was taken away by Chen Feng, the darkness in this world gradually disappeared. The stars in the sky were also gone. It's like nothing happened. And Qingdi has found Jing and Chen Nana. Seeing that the two of them were fine, Qingdi couldn't help but let out a long sigh of relief. Just when he saw the ruins of nearly millions of square kilometers and the bottomless abyss on the ground in the distance, his face became extremely solemn. Even though he was far away, he could still sense that the terrifying and destructive energy there was still spreading. Originally, all this seemed to happen in another world. And now all this appears in front of you as the starry sky disappears. Obviously there was a big battle going on here that even he was not qualified to get involved in. He had noticed something was wrong before. An extremely powerful field appeared in a certain area, but he couldn't find the place at all. The field seemed to be everywhere, but he could never find the entrance. It almost drove him to death. He even informed Emperor Hong, who was also on his way. As long as you're okay, what's going on? Qingdi looked at the two of them and asked eagerly. What happened on the battlefield outside the territory today was really shocking. Dad, it was Dad who saved us. Chen Nana's face was full of excitement at the moment. Then she remembered something and quickly pointed in the direction she came from and shouted, Godfather, go help my dad. But Jing on the side shook his head. The moment the starry sky disappeared, he knew that the battle was over. Upon seeing this, Qingdi wanted to say something, but suddenly he felt that there was extremely high authority information in the virtual universe. Even Chen Nana appeared on the side. The three of them looked at each other and quickly entered the virtual universe. Virtual universe. Tianfeng Palace. A figure slowly appeared, it was Chen Feng. At the same time, Emperor Hong also appeared among them. Brother Chen Feng, is it really you? When Hongdi saw Chen Feng, he stepped forward and gave him a big hug. He had not seen Chen Feng for more than 10 years, and he could not hide his excitement. Unfortunately, Chen Feng just smiled. Brother, I'm fine. This is the image I left behind. Hearing this, Emperor Hong was stunned. The three Qing emperors also came forward. Dad, did you use the AI simulation function of the virtual universe? Are you okay now? When Chen Nana saw her father whom she had not seen for many years, she was excited and curious, and she stepped forward to hug her father. Yes, I'm fine now. Chen Feng was still smiling. This is the image he left behind before returning to the small world out of fear of worrying everyone. I'm in retreat. It may take several years before I emerge. I can't tell you much about the rest. Many races are recovering now, and we still need to rely on you to support them. As Chen Feng spoke, he played the video of the previous battle. This is the Saint of the Star Clan, these are creatures of the void. The battle between us should be useful to you. But it only plays once and then it dissipates. Chen Feng felt a little helpless when he said this, because he was getting stronger and stronger, and the world was becoming more and more malicious and repulsive towards him. Even the images could not be stored for too long before merging with the small world. With that said, Chen Feng's children were also gathered into the virtual universe. Dad, Chen Haoyu didn't expect that it was his father who summoned him. He took the lead and ran towards Chen Feng. Chen Feng in his memory was still the same and had not changed. Chen Feng hugged his eldest son with pride in his eyes. Haoyu, you have grown up. Then he looked at the other children. Kids, don't worry, your mother and I are fine. But we still can't return for the time being. I want to tell you today that you are all existences that can transform. Watch Dad's video again and remember, this is the form you will transform into later. Work hard, and the future world belongs to you. Then, in the uncomfortable gazes of everyone, Chen Feng's image disappeared. Leaving Haoyu and others behind, seeing them looking at each other in bewilderment, Qingdi probably briefly explained the matter. Upon hearing this, many of the children of the Chen Feng family looked solemn. There must be something unspeakable about the disappearance of Mom and Dad. We have to grow up as quickly as possible to help them. Yes, we must learn to transform, just like my brother, to contribute to the human race and to help our parents. Come on. Chen Haoyu, Chen Changsheng, Chen Shanyao, Chen Nana and others looked at the video with firm eyes. And Hongdi also opened his pupils wide at the moment the video started playing. Can the Star Clan Saint use the energy of the stars? Brother Chen Feng seems to be no match for her under normal circumstances. And soon, the video played to the scene where Yao Guang eliminated all Chen Feng's powers. Can it dispel supernatural powers? When he saw this, Qingdi's scalp was already numb. He has put himself into it. He realized that if he were Yao Guang's enemy, he probably wouldn't be able to resist at all. But Chen Feng could barely compete with it. Brother Chen Feng, you are already on par with me under normal circumstances. Emperor Hong also made an accurate judgment. Of course, this was a bit modest. In terms of the physical body, Chen Feng would still be inferior to him if he did not transform. But soon, they saw Chen Feng's first transformation. Chen Feng, who was originally in the true God stage, was shocked by the golden aura surrounding him after his transformation, even through the video. His cold eyes and handsome blonde hair made him look like the center of the world. The handsome appearance in that scene made the hearts of everyone present suddenly twitch. Father's transformed form is the same golden flame as mine. Chen Haoyu was the most excited at the moment. When he saw his younger brother's thunder form transforming, he had some doubts as to whether his own form was not as good as his younger brother's. Now that he sees his father, he feels relieved. Chapter 208. He is truly a role model for our generation. Dad can also transform. It's the same as Big Brother's transformation. When Chen Changsheng saw this scene, he felt a little sad. After being trained hard by his elder brother Chen Haoyu for a period of time, he found that although his transformation was in thunder form, which had its own advantages, it was still a bit weaker in real combat compared to the pure version of transformation. It's impossible not to be envious. As for the other brothers and sisters, they are all extremely excited at this moment. The eldest brother, the second brother and the father can all transform. Will they still be unable to change? Seeing this, Hongdi laughed loudly and said, "Since brother Chen Feng has said so, it seems that in the near future, our human race will have at least dozens more genius-level true gods." To be honest, he is a little sour now. Every transformation of future generations will be at the level of true gods. I have some doubts about whether I should stay single forever. Emperor Hong still has no heirs. Seeing the babies of the Chen Feng family, he felt that his mentality was about to be shaken. Look at Chen Feng, he already knows that Chen Haoyu is with Wang Rongrong and that Wang Rongrong is pregnant. Chen Feng is about to have a grandson. He is still single. At this moment, another figure arrived in the virtual space. The man with an extremely resolute appearance and unshaven beard is none other than Chen Zan. Seeing him appear, Hongdi felt even more complicated. Counting this way, the children from Chen Zan to Chen Haoyu are already 4 generations old. I've seen Emperor Qing and Emperor Hong. I just received the news from Fenger that I was fighting again, so I freed up my hands. When Chen Zan saw everyone there, he was a little stunned and explained. Then he looked at the video playing over there, and saw the golden figure with scorching eyes. Fenger, it's Fenger's transformed form. Where is Fenger now? When Chen Zan saw Chen Feng, he was so excited that he could not restrain his emotions. After Chen Feng disappeared over the years, he became obsessed with the front lines of foreign battlefields, killing enemies every day and occasionally visiting his grandchildren. Now that I see the image of my son, I miss him deeply. And Zhang Li's figure soon appeared. He also looked at Chen Feng on the screen. It's Fenger. Is he okay? Where is he now? Poor parents in the world, she was doing scientific research and experiments, but she came a step too late. Brother Chen Feng is fine, but he still has to wait a few years before he appears. This is his video, you can only watch it once. Qingdi looked at the two of them and explained patiently. Hearing this, Chen Zan and Zhang Li both nodded, as long as Chen Feng is fine. And the grandchildren came forward. Grandpa, Grandma, we saw Dad just now. Dad said that he and the mothers are fine. He just asked us to work hard and they will be back in a few years. Grandpa and Grandma, don't worry. Dad, he is so powerful, this woman is no match for him. The children noticed that their grandparents were in a bad mood, so they explained and tried to comfort them. A generation passed, and the parents disappeared again. Children love their grandparents the most. Okay, grandparents no. Chen Zan and Zhang Li looked at the children, looked at each other and smiled happily. Soon the two people's somewhat disappointed mood calmed down. There were so many grandchildren here, their son was safe, and everything was fine. Anyway, their strength continues to improve and their lifespans are getting longer. Several years passed in the blink of an eye. And everyone watched the video. Chen Feng quickly entered the second-level state. Daddy's hair is getting longer. No, it's not just the hair, Dad's energy has doubled again. So handsome. While the children were talking a lot, Emperor Hong and Emperor Qing were studying Chen Feng's battle carefully. Brother Chen Feng, it's really scary. There are many powers of secondary transformation, but being able to transform once in the true God realm and then transform a second time is an increase several times. It's really scary. In this state, even I am no match for him. Hongdi said calmly. He had long been mentally prepared for not being as good as Chen Feng. So he studied Yaoguang's strength more. This saint of the Star Clan was obviously extraordinary, even more powerful than the void creatures he had encountered before. It was Chen Zan who said sourly. This kid has transformed again. Even his grandchildren can do it. Why can't I? He cursed and expressed his displeasure. I can't help it, this transformation looks so handsome and awesome. Grandpa, I'll teach you how to transform when you have time. Maybe you can do it too. After all, you are Daddy's daddy. Chen Haoyu comforted him from the side. When Chen Zan heard this, he waved his hand. I don't think it's good. It's obvious that this guy Chen Feng mutated it himself. I shouldn't be able to do it. But Qingdi added, Brother Chen Feng can obviously crush this Star Clan saint girl now, why should we give her a chance to accumulate power and strengthen her? Does he have any new plans? After hearing this, everyone began to pay attention to the battle situation. I found out that Chen Feng was really a prodigal. He just folded his hands and waited for Yao Guang to accumulate strength. The longer the fight drags on, the more risks there are. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. A lion fights a rabbit with all his strength. I understand this. My father must also know it. Chen Haoyu analyzed. Qingdi added, besides, Brother Chen Feng speculates that his methods are unpredictable, so he must know about the existence of the Void Clan. But he is still playing tricks on his opponents. Why is that? Seeing this, Emperor Hong suddenly realized, he is selling his flaws. He is waiting for the Void Clan to appear. Catch them all in one fell swoop. Hearing this, everyone nodded in agreement. Father, he is playing a big game of chess. My father is so strong, but he deliberately shows weakness. He must want to kill other enemies. This view is shared by everyone. But Chen Haoyu thought of another possibility. As the oldest child, he is the one who knows his father best. He has seen his father's love and greatness. From the first mother, there were dozens more baby mothers. He immediately muttered, maybe this is the new baby mother. His voice was not loud, but it silenced everyone for a while. Surprisingly, no one seemed to disagree. Hong Di was even more silent. There is almost no difference between the same sex and the opposite sex in his eyes. There is only the level of strength. But now that I think about it, this may really be Brother Chen Feng's new wife. Ahem, let's continue looking. Qingdi was also a little embarrassed at this moment. Speaking of which, after he reconciled with the elves, he wanted to go to the Green Forest. He wanted to meet Nana. But more than 10 years have passed. But he never took that step. And Brother Chen Feng, how many wives are there? In addition to the human race, there is also the elven race, and now there seems to be a star race. A role model for our generation, truly a role model for our generation. Chapter 209 Kanai, kneel down for me. Damn it, Dad can still transform. In the picture, Chen Fenglang had enough and finally transformed for the third time. Holy shit, oh shit, he's so handsome. His hair has grown longer again. Even my father's appearance has changed so much compared to before, he looks so murderous. What was it called just now? Something beyond this and beyond that. Now it's called a super blue star who has surpassed the limits of a super sailor blue star. In the picture, Chen Feng pronounced the name with great pretense. Haoyu sighed, the name my father chose is too difficult to pronounce. But it feels pretty cool. Super 3 form. My hair has grown longer and my momentum has doubled. And Chen Feng kept throwing energy balls like a prince's tactics, showing what it means to be a farming emperor. The huge ground was directly dried into an unfathomable huge rift valley. Brother Chen Feng's move seems to be a bit exhausting. With such endless use of moves to vent energy, even a true god wouldn't be able to hold on for long. No, he did it on purpose. He was showing weakness on purpose. But if his physical strength really drops rapidly, even if the enemy is lured out, can he really cope with it? Or is it that Brother Chen Feng has other trump cards? Can it still be transformed? In the virtual universe, everyone is talking constantly. Especially Chen Feng's transformation again and again made the children of Chen Feng's family blush with excitement. They were not only proud of their father's invincible and supreme appearance. More importantly, my father said that they can also transform like this. Every teenager thought that he could become as handsome as his father. It was impossible not to be excited. Each and every one of them stared at the details of their father's transformation, for fear of missing a little bit. Chen Haoyu on the side has even begun to gather energy again, trying to reach the super second stage. Seeing this, Chen Chengsheng also began to understand. while everyone was immersed in Chen Feng's video. At this moment, a situation has arisen among the elves. When darkness falls, the entire green forest is already on the highest alert. Sif also looked at what was happening in front of her at a loss. Until the darkness disappears, she thought everything was about to return to normal. At this moment, a meteorite fell from the sky, carrying endless flames, and landed in the center of the green forest. Along with the appearance of a huge crater, countless fires burned, burning the surrounding forest. The huge movement startled Sif. He quickly contacted his sister Nana telepathically. "Sister, what happened? Did an enemy appear?" Nana just replied in a low voice, "It's not the enemy, it's StarClan. There was an accident at the Mother Goddess's house recently. StarClan is born, and the Mother Planet is already under their control. Now our affairs together will focus on StarClan. In the next period of time, you need to be careful about your words and actions, especially regarding human affairs. You should not have any arguments. Let Kilu and Bilan come, it has nothing to do with us." Nana's voice was very calm, but Sif could feel a little bit of resentment in her sister. Obviously my sister is also very dissatisfied with the forces on the other side. StarClan, did they really exist? Hearing that her sister was still doubtful, Nana could only keep the story short. StarClan is not something we can resist, but it is not an evil race either. We just have to go with the flow and not fight it. Hearing this, Zaifu nodded solemnly. I see. At the same time, she felt extremely heavy. StarClan, when she was a child, she only heard stories about her grandma and saw sculptures in the grottos of her home planet. This was a race that existed in the mythology of the elves. Even she always thought that it did not exist in the real world. The thought of actually appearing in this world. The Star Clan and the Elf Clan are also closely related. Now the other party actually appeared in the green forest. At this moment, Zaifu quickly rushed towards the place where the meteorite landed. What happened today appeared in my mind, and I felt more and more depressed. No wonder that Bitch Chi Lu wanted to die like this. They seem to have the power of Star Clan in their blood. Star Clan appeared, so did they abandon the human race? No, Nana and the others will be fine, right? Zaifu realized with hindsight at this moment that she combined the previous darkness with Chen Nana's figure. The other party did not have any trouble in the green forest. But that doesn't mean something won't happen along the way. Sister, something happened to Chen Nana and the others. Sif quickly called Nana again, but found that her sister didn't respond at all. When I came to the crater, I saw the woman with red-colored skin appearing in the distance. She was like a goddess born from the flames. Her skin shone with red-colored luster, as if wrapped in a ball of hot flames. Her arrogance is like her skin color, hot and inaccessible. Although her eyes are closed, she reveals an unquestionable majesty and power. There was also the tall sister on the side. Kanai, Qilu and others also arrived. Everyone felt the burning energy on the woman's body and were a little overwhelmed. Qilu and Bai Lin were the first to bow. Greetings to Lord Yingwo. Everyone else looked at Nana, who nodded, bowed and said, I have met Lord Yingwo. The other elves saw this scene. They all bowed and saluted, I have met Lord Yingwo. Bilan on the side saw that the other elves refused to worship, and said angrily to Kanai beside her, Kanai, this is the ancestor. Why don't you worship? How can you still be my prince of the elves when you are so rude? Hearing that his wife dared to reprimand him in public, Kanai's extremely handsome face instantly turned ugly. However, facing the legendary Star Clan goddess, he did not dare to be angry with his wife. But the prince's dignity prevented him from bending the knee easily. For a moment he stood there, neither angry nor angry. Seeing him like this, Sif thought of him a little more. It seems that Kanai will not completely fall to Kilu's side. But Bai Lin still refused to give up. Kanai, didn't you hear what I said? You give me. Snapped. A crisp sound sounded immediately. Everyone just felt like their eyes were blurred. Then he saw that Yingwo had already taken action, a big slap in the face. But the target was not Kanai, but Bai Lin. Bang 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 bang. She saw Bilan being slapped from the ground where she was kneeling to the depths of the green forest, hitting countless plants along the way, punching through layers of obstacles, and spiraling out of sight. After the slap, Yingwo twisted his wrist slightly, which seemed to be a bit laborious. When everyone saw this, they could not suppress their rich expressions. Even Nana next to her showed a trace of surprise under her calm expression. This was also the first time she had seen this star clan. But why did the other party want to beat Bai Lin? Isn't that a descendant of their blood? Chapter 210. What is the name of that human being? X, your mother. How come I am your ancestor? I'm only 18 years old this year. Yingwo spoke, and the irritable girl's voice echoed throughout the green forest. Then she looked at the other elves, showing no politeness at all. Who summoned my sister before? Speaking of a hybrid genius between humans and elves. Hearing this, the people around him suddenly became helpless and trembling. Qilu on the side was even more sweaty. This adult from Star Clan seems to have an unstable temper. Wouldn't someone report her? Really frightened. Seeing this, Zaifu pointed directly at Qilu beside her. If I remember correctly, it's this person. Qilu. Hearing this, Yingwo moved her little feet slightly and came to Qilu. She looked at Qilu with burning eyes and a strange curve in the corner of her mouth. It's you, right? If she hadn't been consciously polite, she wouldn't have even wanted to ask this question. Before Qilu was beaten, she immediately said with an apologetic smile, Sir, this is indeed the case, but I don't know where Lord Yaoguang has gone. Originally it seemed that she had a good attitude and Yingwo was not ready to get angry, but when she heard this, she couldn't hold it in anymore. Where are you going? I was just about to ask this question. Where are my sisters? Do any of you know? A huge wave of sound spread with Yingwo as the center, and the entire green forest became quiet. Hearing Yingwo's huge voice, the animals and plants in the entire green forest were trembling. They haven't been yelled at for a long time. When Qilu heard this, her face turned pale. Lord Yaoguang disappeared. How can this be? How can it be? Snapped. Hearing her nonsense, Yingwo slapped her again. Do you think I'm kidding you? When Qilu saw the jade hand fan coming, she reflexively wanted to resist with the power of the demigod. Unfortunately, I couldn't react at all. Boom boom boom. Soon she followed another road and flew to the other side of the green forest. There was blood at the corner of her mouth, and she probably wouldn't be able to come back for a while. Where the hell is my sister? Yingwo once again looked at Nana angrily. She was the most cultivated among the elves present. Nana saw that it was finally her turn. With a calm expression, he pointed in the direction of the two people who had been slapped away, reporting to Lord Yingwo, according to my guess, Lord Yaoguang should have been led by them to arrest Chen Nana. That's the girl who is a mixed race of elves and humans. If nothing else, Master Yaoguang's disappearance is related to the human race. It is not ruled out that the Void Clan is involved. Yingwo frowned slightly when he heard about the human race and the Void race. The strongest human being is not the Hong Emperor you call him. As far as I know, based on the information you gave me, he cannot be Yaoguang's opponent. Then it's Void's hand. Yingwo also had a headache when he thought of this. The history of the Void Clan and their Star Clan disapproving of each other can be traced back hundreds of millions of years, and they have been unable to do anything to each other for so many years. But this time everyone was born, it seemed that there was another bloody storm. Seeing her pointing her spirit void, Zaifu was secretly happy, but Nana on the side reminded, Master Yingwo, it may not be Void's fault. There is a being in the human race who has been missing for more than 10 years. If I guess correctly, his strength should exceed Emperor Hong. Hearing this, Yingwo looked in disbelief. Is this true? Also, why do you think it was the human race who did it? Or isn't this person missing? Why do you think it's him? Zaifu on the side was also a little confused. It was clear that her sister and Qingdi had always been secretly in love, so why did she single out the human race? Doesn't this put the human race in danger? My sister is confused. Unexpectedly, Nana continued to add information. Because Chen Nana was born to that man and my elf girl. Although that human race is missing, he is definitely the strongest genius in the history of the human race. With only the strength of a war emperor, he can break free from my lock, escape from the green forest and take Princess Corolla away by force. Not only does he have many superpowers, but he also has various unpredictable methods. It can be said that he was the most dazzling genius in the past. If he is still alive now, he cannot be called a genius. He is the strongest person in the human race. Even I am far behind. I am afraid that Emperor Hong is not at all his opponent, and he is also the only human being who may pose a threat to the Yaoguang Saint. Furthermore, this man is determined to retaliate, and he is a high-ranking member of the human race. He touched his daughter. How can he let it go? That's why I doubt it. Of course, this is just my guess. Nana said calmly. In fact, she felt the same way. Whether it was the strong rise of the human race or the emergence of the star race to suppress everything, to her, it was just a small event in a long time. But although she had not been involved in Qi Lu and the others, she probably still knew some details. As the patron saint of the Green Forest, in addition to the elf goddess, most elves are her confidants. It also includes some of Qi Lu's loyal subordinates. When Yingwo heard that there were such awesome people in the human race, his whole face became even more gloomy. The father of the mixed-race child actually has such strength, why didn't he retaliate in the first place? She has already heard that the biggest problem in this matter is that Yaoguang originally wanted to study the hybridization of humans and elves, but he found the wrong target. Kick to the iron plate. Please give me an explanation. Seeing Yaoguang looking at her again, Nana looked into the distance. There, Qi Lu was flying over, supporting the injured Bai Lin. Master Yingwo, I'm afraid you have to ask them about the specific situation. Seeing this, Yingwo also twitched the corners of his mouth. She is talented and intelligent, and has already seen that there is also discord within the elves. This true god wanted him to help her suppress her enemies. But she didn't care about that. She just needs to get useful information and solve the problem. All conspiracies and tricks are useless in the face of absolute power. StarClan has proven this countless times. What's the name of the human race? Yingwo asked. And Nana replied, Chen Feng. Chen Feng. All the information he gives me within today must be accurate. If there are any mistakes again, they will not be the only ones who are unlucky. Do you understand? Yingwo didn't hide his threat at all and looked at Nana. But Nana smiled. I know. Chapter 211 Dragon Fruit, Worrying. Small world. After Chen Feng handed Kesha to Yaoguang, he was busy in class with teacher Lu. Unexpectedly, within a few days, Yaoguang would come to disturb him. At this moment, Yaoguang was standing at the door. When he heard the movement inside, his expression remained unchanged. Chen Feng said that he practiced in seclusion, but when he saw so many lovely wives coming in and out of his room, how could she not understand? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Sir Chen Feng, stop being busy exercising and come and take care of business. Yaoguang shouted loudly at the door while banging the door hard with her small fist. Unfortunately, Chen Feng was busy and didn't want to talk to her at all. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Seeing that he ignored her, Yaoguang became even more excited. Not only was Chen Feng's entire palace shaking with his fist, but he also shouted at the top of his lungs, Hey, 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 don't stay away from business for a day. You asked me to help you purify Kesha, but something went wrong. If you don't deal with it, I will take a rest. I told you in advance that all the consequences of this matter are caused by you and have nothing to do with me. Chen Feng was busy doing push-ups. Hearing these words, he couldn't hold himself any longer. Bo, Teacher Lu, I'll go out and take care of it and come back to class later. After hearing Chen Feng's words, Teacher Lu blushed and nodded. Good. And Chen Feng's figure instantly appeared in front of Yaoguang. He grabbed her little hand that was still trying to knock on the door and twisted it hard. Click. The sound of fracture sounded instantly. Ah, it hurts. What are you doing? Yaoguang felt that her wrist was broken again, and her whole body felt bad. She looked at Chen Feng angrily. But he saw that the other party was looking at him with evil intentions. Even before he transformed, there was murderous intent in his eyes. Dare to disturb him and his teacher's serious practice. Yaoguang in front of him has a way to die. What do you think I want to do? Do you want to give me an explanation? Chen Feng was shirtless and felt that he was very angry now. He stared at Yaoguang. It's been a long time since he's had something new. Seeing the other person seemed really angry, and Yaoguang was a little timid at the moment. She shrank her head slightly and showed an embarrassed but polite smile. Ahem. The main reason is that Kesha has been resisting fiercely in the past 2 days, and I can't purify her. That's why I thought of coming to you for help. Come and take a look with me." Hearing her change of topic, Chen Feng was speechless and tapped her head hard with his finger. Boom. There was a muffled sound. Yao Guang's head turned red. "Next time something happens, just one transmission will be enough. Otherwise, you will come and take over." Chen Feng threatened, and the meaning of the substitute was also very clear. Hearing this, Yao Guang was shocked at first, and then provocatively said, "I have already told you, if you have any needs, just tell me. Am I still afraid of you?" Seeing her confident look, Chen Feng was quite helpless. The more this guy acted like this, the more confused he became. Although he is not afraid of Yao Guangyan at all in terms of strength, but who knows what is special about the Xing clan in that aspect, and when the time comes, he really can't bear to be disgusted with him. "You're quite arrogant." Chen Feng struck another blow, and then brought Yao Guang directly to another 100 years. Here, Kesha was being placed on an altar-like object, with ropes made of various starlights on her body, tightly trapping her. And the starlight kept entering her skin, fighting against the corrosive power of the void in her body. When Chen Feng saw this, he didn't find anything wrong. He looked at Yao Guang maliciously and said, "There's nothing wrong with this. Isn't this great?" Hearing this, Yao Guang shook her head. "No, don't think she is quite normal now. Once I increase the intensity of purification, she will seek death and survive. It's not easy to purify at all." Hearing this, Chen Feng pursed his lips. "You increase your intensity and I'll see." Seeing this, Yao Guang also flew forward and came to the center of the altar. The power of starlight on his body continued to emit and poured into Kesha's body. When the starlight crazily poured into Kesha's body, Chen Feng found that Kesha's void power was obviously dissolved. At the same time, Kesha's face was ferocious, looking at Yao Guang, and noticed Chen Feng beside him, and said he shouted angrily, "Despicable human race, I would rather die than be purified by you. Just dream." Seeing the tenacity and madness in her eyes, Chen Feng deeply agreed with this. He quite likes Kesha, also prepared to take down the opponent. Unfortunately, this is the will of the void at work, not the real Kesha. So it must be purified properly. Along with Kesha's crazy resistance, Chen Feng saw beads of sweat on Yao's bald head and her face gradually turned pale, obviously feeling a little powerless. "You see, that's what happens. It really doesn't work." Chen Feng took over the conversation. "If it's really not possible, can I relax your limits a little more?" Hearing this, Yao Guang was stunned. That's what it means. As a result, Chen Feng shook his head. "Stop your little thoughts. I can help you." Hearing this, Yao Guang had confusion in her eyes. "Chen Feng has already taken action. I feel like you StarClan are quite idiots too. Since she resisted, wouldn't you just ask her not to resist?" Hearing this, Yao Guang was even more confused. "How can I prevent her from resisting? Her body and mind are extremely sensitive and she can't even be beaten unconscious." "You can't beat her to death, right? Didn't you say you wanted to live?" Seeing that she still didn't understand, Chen Feng was ready to demonstrate it himself. "Who said you need to knock him out? Don't you know there is a state called the near-death state?" As Chen Feng said, he had already arrived in front of Kesha. As soon as the other party saw Chen Feng's solution, the skin all over his body changed color, and terrifying energy suddenly burst out. "Die! Despicable!" The surrounding starlight restraints were instantly broken by her, and at the same time, she fired an extremely condensed purple beam, stabbing directly towards Chen Feng's heart. The sudden change made Yao Guang unable to react. Chen Feng's face remained calm and his heart did not beat. While Kesha was still cursing, Chen Feng punched Dao Dao Xiaozui. At the same time, her beam was directly absorbed into Chen Feng's body, without any side effects, and she even burped. "Belch. You also attacked me secretly. Looks like I'm going to treat you to dragon fruit." Yao Guang was even more puzzled. Dragon fruit. But soon she opened her mouth wide and quickly closed it tightly. "This is dragon fruit. This seems to be a kind of fruit. Why is it called dragon fruit in this way?" And soon Chen Feng's voice came again. "Cowardly. Pattaya. Cowardly." In Yao Guang's eyes, which she wanted to look at but didn't dare to look at, she noticed that Kesha's resistance became more and more fierce. She was obviously stimulated by the pain. She thought that Chen Feng's violence would be counterproductive. Chen Feng tried another new trick. CPR. Ropes appeared directly in Chen Feng's hands and were tied around Kesha's neck and wings. Chapter 212 1, 2, 3, 4, again. Fuck. She's not really dead, is she? When she saw Chen Feng directly hooking Kesha up with a rope, her whole body felt bad. Although Kesha's skin could breathe, she could feel that Chen Feng's rope had the function of confinement and isolation. As Chen Feng exerted force, Kesha's eyes soon turned white and she almost fainted. Chen Feng not only simply cut off the air for her, but also brought a strong mental impact, directly impacting the opponent's brain and nerves. But Chen Feng did not let go at all and continued to increase his intensity. Ooh. Kesha wanted to say something, but unfortunately her mouth was blocked. As a result, Kesha's life breath began to gradually disappear and became extremely weak. Is this really possible? Yao Guang saw this scene and hid beside him and shivered. Chen Feng is too cruel. It was literally birth. Chen Feng, you are really not a human being. It's so cruel. Didn't you promise to purify it? You just killed her. Hearing this, Chen Feng rolled his eyes. I am saving her. If I don't do this, how can I purify her? How can she be a good person without purification? If you continue to be a void creature and do evil, she will die sooner or later. Hearing Chen Feng's fallacy, Yao Guang felt something was wrong, but she didn't know how to refute it. She thought about it and realized something was wrong. You killed her, how can she still be a good person? She has no chance. Chen Feng smiled. Where are we now? We haven't reached the point yet. Have you not noticed that she is quite stubborn? Chen Feng pointed at the corner of Kesha's mouth, where there was still a fierceness. However, Chen Feng didn't let go. When Kesha's breath was about to disappear, she saw Chen Feng pressing Kesha's heart. Okay, we're in place. Chen Feng smiled and continued with his plan. In place, what do you mean? Yao Guang was a little confused. But she soon saw that as Chen Feng pressed, a stream of green vitality began to pour into Kesha's body. Thump thump. With the entry of a large amount of life energy. Yao Guang also didn't expect that Kesha's signs of life appeared again, and her eyes opened slightly, and she actually came back to life. Miracle Doctor. Is this CPR? Yao Guang sighed sincerely when she saw that Kesha was really alive. She could feel that Kesha had really stepped into the gate of hell just now. Ordinary energy cannot be saved at all. But in Chen Feng's hands, a large amount of life energy seems to be free of charge. In this small world, he is God. Kesha seems to have a hard time even if she wants to die. Kesha, who woke up, was a little confused at first, but she quickly realized what she had experienced, and looked at Chen Feng with dagger-like eyes, as if she wanted to kill him. Human, you are seeking death. One day I will completely dismember you and kill you. Oh, what will you do to me? Seeing that she was still so arrogant, Chen Feng quickly prepared a second set of CPR. It seems you won't shed tears until you see the coffin. As he spoke, the rope in his hand tightened again. You are looking for. Kesha wanted to say something else, but her vision went dark and the experience just now started again. Less than a few minutes. Kesha fainted again. It's good to be young, just fall asleep. Chen Feng sighed. Seeing this, Yao Guang on the side did not dare to speak now. When she saw Kesha dying again, Chen Feng put his hand on Kesha's heart and started cardiopulmonary resuscitation for the second time. Stop sleeping. Wake up. With the re-infusion of life energy. Kesha slowly regained consciousness. But this time, she was confused for a longer time. After a few seconds, she remembered everything that had happened before, and looked at Chen Feng fiercely again. It's a pity that Chen Feng didn't give her a chance to speak. The third set started immediately. It looks like it's not in place yet. I need to get a few more sets. Chen Feng smiled and increased the strength of his hands again. Time flies. Yao Guang felt scared when she saw this set of cardiopulmonary resuscitation. She rubbed oil on her soles and wanted to run away. But as soon as he turned around, he heard Chen Feng's demonic whisper. Either watch it here, either experience it here. Hearing the threat in Chen Feng's words, Yao Guang showed an awkward smile again. Let me see, can't I see? Immediately her eyes were on Kesha again. Kesha had just woken up, but her whole body seemed a little depressed. There was also a hint of fear in her eyes when she looked at Chen Feng, although it was not obvious yet. But Yao Guang can still be keenly aware that Kesha is in good condition now. It seems that his temper is no longer so bad. Before he starts to curse, he has to slow down for a few seconds. Kesha's tone was slightly softer this time. Human, you. It seems it's still not in place. Chen Feng didn't wait for her to finish speaking, and blocked her mouth again with his supernatural power. Cowardly. Cowardly. Come on, let's continue. Yao Guang saw the resentment and grievance in Kesha's eyes and reminded, she seems to want to give in. Chen Feng was stunned when he heard this, but the movements of his hands did not stop at all. Is there any? I didn't find it. It's okay. I think the effect is pretty good. Let's try another set. Hearing Chen Feng's devilish speech, the two women present felt a chill running down their spines. Kesha quickly fell into hell again. She decided to speak clearly next time. Time seems to have passed a long time, but not too long. Okay, it's time to wake up. Hearing the man's words, Kesha slowly woke up and looked around. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? She was completely confused. But the powerful strength made her wake up quickly. I remembered my previous encounter. Anger rushed into her mind. People. When Chen Feng saw this, he blocked her mouth again. It seems that she still refuses to accept it. 1, 2, 3, 4, do it again. ... Another busy meal. While starting to work as a miracle doctor, he asked Yao Guang beside him, how many times is this? I forgot to count. Yao Guang replied, 37 times. Kesha's eyes changed when she heard this. She couldn't remember doing it so many times. But soon she felt the suffocation coming over her again, her head felt dizzy, and she lost consciousness again. In a daze, I don't know how many times this happened. She couldn't remember clearly. Only Chen Feng would occasionally ask Yao Guang about his times. This is the 197th time. 200 times. For the 200th time, Chen Feng finally stopped. After injecting life force into Kesha, even he felt a little tired. Okay, it's time for you to purify. There should be no resistance left. Hearing this, Kesha only felt that she had found hope for a new life. With the power of starlight coming from her body, although Kesha was very uncomfortable, she was basically in no mood to resist. Every time she stepped halfway through the gate of hell, she was no longer afraid of death. But that feeling of restarting made her feel peaceful, and she no longer had any desires. Yao Guang said happily, Miracle Doctor. She really doesn't resist anymore. When Kesha drooped her eyelids and felt that being purified was not that uncomfortable, Chen Feng's voice came. Hard to say. It's no problem today. But seeing how fierce she is, she has to do 200 sets every day. Keisha. Chapter 213 Chen Haoyu, engaged to Lei Lan. After performing 200 sets of cardiopulmonary resuscitation on Kesha, Chen Feng clapped his hands and felt happy when he saw that Kesha no longer resisted Yao Guang's purification. It's really tiring. Yao Guang is right when he says that I am a miracle doctor. Even though she is a void creature, I also uphold the spirit of never giving up and rescued her from hell 200 times in a row. What a kind-hearted doctor. Chen Feng felt very relieved to see Kesha, who was now very peaceful, no longer as violent and grumpy as before. Back at Blue Star, we need to open a clinic to treat mania. Chen Feng thought to himself. According to this progress, even if Yao Guang cannot purify Kesha, Kesha will become an obedient daughter of the void in his hands. Hey, if she really changes her ways. Can her special skin change color? Can you enjoy it with zero recharge? Thinking of this, Chen Feng was a little excited. By the way, Teacher Lu is still waiting for me to start class. Chen Feng's figure flashed and he quickly continued to make up lessons. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. Somewhere in the void, a huge figure slowly appeared. Where did my daughter, Kesha, go? I can no longer feel her breath in this world. Mantis and Kessadine beside them were trembling and did not dare to answer. Human race, damn it. Hearing that the blame was on the human race, Kessadine finally said, Queen, let's destroy the human race. Hearing this, the huge figure did not answer. Just looked into the distance. Crack of the gods. This is a huge spectacle created by Chen Feng single-handedly, and it was also named so in later generations. A girl with red skin appeared here, circling and flying continuously, feeling the battle tracks around her. In front of the huge bottomless crack, she was so small, like a drop in the ocean. She breathed a long sigh of relief. Combined with the information about Chen Feng given to her by the elf, Yingwo was now almost 100% sure. Yao Guang's disappearance is related to that human race. Because the destruction caused by void creatures is not like this. Such indiscriminate bombing should be caused by the human race. Such a terrifying power, sister, nothing will happen to her, right? Yinghuo was really worried at this moment. Even if Void took action, it would only trap Yao Guang at most, making it difficult to cause real harm to her. Even if she learned about the existence of human masters before, she was not very worried. But now seeing Chen Feng's terrifying destructive power with her own eyes has shaken her mind. The sister's aura disappeared. Was it hidden, or? No, if she dies, Yao Guang's star will feel it. Yingwo raised his head and looked at the sky. Yao Guang was still normal. Thinking of this, Yingwo felt a little relieved. If I kill the human race directly, I will be in danger even if there is Chen Feng and the Hong Emperor and Thunder God. Other members of the clan are still awakening and cannot provide support. It seems that Nana and the others have a good relationship with the human race. We can use them to get some information. Thinking of this, she hurried back to the green forest. As long as the human race can let her sisters go, if they want anything, the elves can give it to them. Recently, through her spiritual perception, she has learned that the Qing Emperor of the human race seems to like Nana, so she might try to make a match herself. Human base. Chen Haoyu and Wang Rongrong held their wedding at Blue Star. The news of Wang Rongrong's pregnancy has already excited the entire human race's top brass, and the entire Chen family is celebrating. At present, it seems that all the children of the Chen family are the hope of the human race. Any child, in the past era, would have been a top genius who could be strongly supported by the human race. And there are dozens of such geniuses in the Chen family. Haoyu already has children. I have great-grandchildren. Speaking of which, Fenger will be grandpa when he comes back. He will be very surprised then. Chen Zan was very excited. Time flies and he becomes an ancestor. But what surprised him even more was that Chen Haoyu also announced another news that day. He was getting engaged to Lei Lan from the Lei family. And Lei Lan cuddled up to Chen Haoyu's side, his cheeks red with embarrassment. The two men are talented and beautiful, making others envious. Lei Lan's mood was also very complicated, and he was excited and lucky. In fact, when she and Chen Haoyu were together before, some people in the clan were opposed to it. To say that this kind of transformation is rare in the world, it definitely has side effects. Even after Chen Haoyu transformed at the age of 18, he already had a strength close to that of a demigod. But if you transform like this, you will definitely suffer from premature aging and death in the future. There are all kinds of unpleasant rumors. Some people also say that there is something wrong with the genes of the Chen family. They were geniuses in their early years, but they will definitely decline later. The disappearance of Chen Feng is the best proof. They are all jealous and disgusting rumors. Because Chen Haoyu was too good and exceeded their expectations, even though Lei Lan didn't care about other people's opinions, she kept slandering her lover, and she also had a lot of conflicts with her tribe. Until some time ago, such rumors suddenly disappeared. The people in the clan unanimously agreed. The reason is that Chen Haoyu's father appeared again earlier, causing an uproar. Although no one saw Chen Feng's return in person. But the cracks among the gods are the best proof. That power far exceeds the level of a true god. That directly changed the terrifying power of a large area. There were no traces of such a battle in the entire extraterrestrial battlefield. Only Chen Feng can do it. Even a discerning person can see that Chen Feng has surpassed Hong Di. So far, no one in the human race dares to spread rumors. There were even a lot of snobs who urged him to get married to Chen Haoyu. Human beings are so realistic. Because Haoyu's father showed up, he changed his attitude. Lei Lan was also speechless at the arrogant and respectful attitude of these people. But fortunately, no one finally stopped her marriage to Haoyu. Thinking of this, she and Chen Haoyu hugged each other tightly. And Chen Haoyu was also very happy. His father showed up again and gave him the direction to continue making progress. Without special powers, he originally thought that transforming into a super blue star would be his final destination. And his father showed him the way forward. Super 2. Super 3. Super 4. There may even be other transformation forms in the future. Dad, I will keep moving forward and I will share the pressure with you. Chen Haoyu thought so in his heart. Temple of Angels. First, Mikkel was almost captured by the Void Clan. Fortunately, Emperor Hong intervened to save his life. The three true angels returned to the temple and formed the strongest holy light array, gathering all the angels to activate the defense mode. Even so, the day Yaoguang came caused them to be frightened enough. Be in constant panic all day long. And today, a figure finally appeared slowly. Chapter 214 The Crisis of Chen Zhan's grandfather and grandson. Chen Feng didn't know whether it was Yaoguang's purification that played a role, or whether his cardiopulmonary resuscitation package was so effective. Less than a month, Kesha's eyes became much clearer. This day, just after hanging Kesha up, Chen Feng suddenly heard the other party whispering, Sir Chen Feng, I don't think I need it anymore. I am willing to accept your purification. I beg you, please stop giving me CPR. Hearing this, Chen Feng was stunned and looked at the other party. And Kesha was looking at him. Eyes facing each other. Chen Feng found that the other party's eyes were less violent and more begging for mercy. This made him feel a little confused. It seems that the time has not come yet. If the purification is successful, the system will definitely prompt. But I feel like the course of treatment is not enough. Chen Feng thought for a while and said. At the same time, he carefully observed Kesha's changes. Sure enough, as soon as he finished speaking, Kesha's eyes flashed with a well-hidden killing intent. Look, you're pretending. You must have been recognized by me. As Chen Feng spoke, a rope appeared in his hand and he strode forward. How dare you lie to me? Cowardly. Yao Guang, who was on the side, was slightly twitching when she saw this scene. She didn't know what expression to make because she found that Chen Feng seemed to be a little different from what she imagined. Although the other party is an old pervert and has many stunning wives. But he never made too many demands on her. No, this person is so honest. Or is he not interested in me? Yao Guang was very puzzled. She discovered that Chen Feng was plowing the fields every day besides practicing. Otherwise, he would come to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation on Kesha when he was in a bad mood. You deserve to die. Yao Guang heard Kesha's desperate cry and knew that Chen Feng had begun to give Kesha a new day of transformation. She must be watching from the side. The purification ends for the day. Chen Feng was about to leave when he heard Long Ruobing's message. Husband, it seems that a new strong man has appeared. Dad and Changsheng are here too. They seem to be in danger. Is there a situation? Hearing this, Chen Feng was also a little surprised and appeared directly in the movie viewing square. In the huge open-air square, there are wives who are tired of practicing and watching TV shows here every day. In addition to seriously watching Blue Star TV series, movies and animations, they can also form teams to play games. But more of them are still paying attention to the children's movements at all times. The system's Eye of Insight was used by Chen Feng 24 hours a day, and now it was Chen Zhan and Chen Changsheng on the screen. At this moment, his grandfather and grandson, together with some of the elites of the human race, were fighting in a secret territory on the battlefield outside the territory. But at this moment, many human beings looked grave, staring at the terrifying figure in the sky. The opponent just landed directly from the sky and killed several War Emperor-level beast kings and millions of Zerg troops in an instant. She was dressed in white clothes, which looked like clouds and mist. The clothes seemed to be woven from light. They fluttered gently with her movements, like clouds rolling and relaxing, agile and quiet. Her face is as bright as the bright moon, as delicate as jade, and reveals a kind of purity that transcends the world. Her eyes are like bright stars, deep and bright, as if they can penetrate the void of all things and see the truth of everything in the world. You can't see any flaws on her body, only pure light and holiness, as if she is the embodiment of light, illuminating the warmth and hope in every corner of the world. But now that she was staring at her, the Chen family's grandfather and grandson were already secretly complaining. They could feel that the other person had an aura similar to that of the angel race. "Grandpa, how long will it take for Emperor Hong to arrive? What kind of existence is this person? Our map of all races doesn't even have his energy displayed." Chen Changsheng even asked urgently via voice transmission. He was in super blue star human form at the moment, and his aura was comparable to that of an ordinary demigod. Chen Zhan's aura was even stronger than his, and he was at the top level of a demigod. But when facing the woman, both of them already felt deep despair. It turns out that the angel clan has been in seclusion recently, and the human clan has taken advantage of the information advantage of having the map of the 10,000 clan, so Chen Zhan thought of bringing his grandson here to practice and give him a chance to break through to the second level. But not long after the two arrived in the secret realm, they saw the woman arriving. And even now, the map of all races is not displayed. "Will arrive soon. We hold on." Chen Zhan clenched his teeth and made a low and firm voice. At the same time, countless ether elements seemed to be summoned by him and converged crazily in his direction from all directions. At this moment, the surrounding sky seemed to be infected by this powerful force, and instantly became gloomy and dim, as if the last afterglow before nightfall was ruthlessly devoured. The terrifying power has already exploded with all his strength. But what made Chen Zhan uneasy was that the other party made no move to interrupt him. When the sky was covered with countless ether elements, the other party finally moved. "Dark energy." A gentle voice sounded that seemed to moisturize all things. The figure like the goddess of light just waved her hand and moved it as if disdainfully. A beam of light began to appear between heaven and earth. God said, "Let there be light." Then the whole world was filled with light. Light illuminates the entire world. Silent and silent. Countless dark energy suddenly dissipated, but in an instant, the world became bright again. Even whiter than daytime, hotter than the scorching sun. Even the surrounding air became boiling hot. The energy that Chen Zhan had worked hard to condense was simply dissolved by the opponent. Seeing this scene, Chen Zhan felt a strong sense of despair in his heart for the first time. Because when Emperor Hong and Emperor Qing arrived, the three true gods of the angel clan also moved. The angel clan has been stable for so long, but they suddenly launch a sneak attack on them. It's really uncomfortable. The woman looked at Chen Zhan with a hint of curiosity in her eyes. But humans in this world can actually master dark energy. You have really gone astray. The woman's voice was sacred, pitiful, and aloof, and she looked at everything like a rotten dog. Light is the source of all things. Are you willing to surrender to the light? As she spoke, she looked at Chen Changsheng beside her. "Young man, join the light, and I can help you ascend to the level of true God." Her words were light and airy, as if the true God was nothing in her eyes. But Chen Changsheng suddenly asked, "Oh. Then tell me, how can you help me ascend to the true God level?" Chapter 215 Yao Guang's Little Thoughts. Is Changsheng stalling for time? The top leaders of the human race should be on their way already. In the small world, Long Ruobing quickly realized that this was his son's tactic and looked at her husband. "Well, Chongsheng has been smart since he was a child, just like me." Chen Feng joked shamelessly. Hearing this, Long Ruobing rolled his eyes. "Husband, are you this woman's opponent?" Seeing the terrifying power of that woman, Long Ruobing was still a little worried. She knew that Chen Feng could move instantly, but what if he moved there and was no longer his opponent? Hearing this, Chen Feng pinched Long Ruobing's tender cheek. "What are you thinking about? Take a pinch with your hand." Hearing this, Long Ruobing felt relieved. But we still need to ask Yao Guang about the identity of this woman. He just asked the system, but the system didn't want to pay attention to him at all. Thinking of this, Chen Feng stretched out a hand to the side and pinched it with 2 fingers. Yao Guang, who was lying down in his room, only felt a pain in his ears. The next moment, he appeared next to Chen Feng. His terrifying strength made many wives marvel. They all saw that Chen Feng's strength had taken another step forward. "Ah, it hurts. Asshole, let go." Yao Guang was suddenly captured by Chen Feng at this moment. She was shocked and angry. She was surprised by Chen Feng's methods and angry by the other party's actions. However, Chen Feng was too lazy to chat with her. He pointed at the insightful eye in front of him and asked, "Don't you always want to see this thing? You just need to tell me who this woman is, and I will show it to you." After hearing Chen Feng's request, Yao Guang also looked at the insightful eye. But at a glance, she recognized the woman's identity. Soon there was a trace of disdain on the corner of her mouth. "Who did I think it was? Isn't this the goddess of light, Elena? Let me go quickly." Upon hearing Yao Guang's acquaintance, Chen Feng let go of his big hand and sat down on the comfortable sofa. Then he waved and a small bench appeared in front of him. He pointed to the small bench and said, "Yao Guang, sit down." When Yao Guang saw that Chen Feng and his wives all had comfortable sofas, while he only had a small bench, his cheeks bulged with anger. But when she saw new movements on the screen, she quickly sat down. However, as soon as Yao Guang sat down, he recommended Chen Feng very actively. "Master Chen Feng, this Elena is the goddess of light, and the angels in this world belong to their vassal race. If you can take her down, there will be a lot of benefits." Chen Feng was stunned when he heard this. How did this girl know what he was thinking? But he didn't answer because the battle had already begun. This scene made Long Ruobing find it very funny. Although this Star Clan girl has a lot of clever ideas, Chen Feng still manages to pinch her. In the picture, Chen Changsheng's time-delaying tactics did not have much effect. Elena saw Chen Changsheng asking the question, but she shook her head. "You are not sincere. But it does not matter. If you come back with me, you will naturally know how to get promoted." After hearing what the other party said, Chen Changsheng still wanted to delay, but the next moment, hundreds of halos appeared around him. The rings suddenly tightened towards Chen Changsheng, as if they were trying to bind him tightly. Bound by light. Hearing Elena's lines, Chen Feng's mouth twitched slightly. However, in such a critical situation, Chen Zan has transformed into a metal form. Hyper-killing mode. Chen Zan instantly turned into a killing machine, and his arms exploded with countless metal spikes, killing Elena. Just because dark energy is restrained, doesn't mean it will be at ease. And Chen Changsheng also let out an angry shout, "Break it open for me." Chao Yi's aura rose again, and the energy light ball with the attribute of thunder in his hand suddenly blasted towards the halos that were bolted towards him. Boom! A huge explosion sounded instantly, and the halos were blown away. Chen Zan's metal fission has also reached Elena. The energy of the metal heart was drained by him in an instant. Since he takes action, he must kill with one strike. Die. With Chen Zan's roar, and in the eyes of everyone who couldn't believe it, he directly killed Elena with one blow. It's an illusion. No, she is the light. Chen Zan saw himself piercing the opponent's body without any hindrance, but an endless scorching sun appeared inside the opponent's body, directly piercing his five senses until he lost his ability to perceive. It's like facing the sun. Before losing consciousness, he also heard his grandson's screams. "No, let me go." It turned out that the moment those halos were exploded, they actually solidified again and directly tied Chen Changsheng to death. The huge pressure made Chen Changsheng let out painful ambiguity. The halo seemed to pull his whole body from the outside in. The inside is squeezed into a pulp. Even in Super Blue Star human form, the difference in strength between him and Elena is huge. Seeing that both his father and son were in danger, Chen Feng felt that Long Ruobing's hand holding his was shaking slightly, and he was about to move instantly. But he heard Yao Guang reminding him quickly before he left, "Elena's body is a divine light. Although her abilities are abnormal, her combat power is not as strong as mine. You can find a way to completely seal her time and space, plus gravity, even if even light cannot escape. First compress her, expose her body, and then tie her up with ropes. By the way, it is best to defeat her with one blow and bring her directly here, otherwise she will continue to rely on the energy of the sun. Endless is very difficult to deal with. Chen Feng, you must work hard." The moment they saw Chen Feng leaving, the other party's sound transmission was like a machine gun, and everyone present was a little impressed. I have seen a consciousness that can convey a lot of information. But being able to say so many words in an instant is no wonder that Yao Guang is a saint from the Star Clan and is very good at talking. After Chen Feng disappeared, Yao Guang looked at the other women who were looking at her with all kinds of doubts, confusion and curiosity in their eyes. Long Ruobing asked bluntly, Xiao Yaoguang, does this Elena have a grudge against you? You seem to want her to be caught by Chen Feng. During this period of time, everyone knew Yao Guang's identity and relationship with Chen Feng. Although the two were far from enemies, they were definitely not that harmonious. Now the other party was frantically sending information to Chen Feng, which had to make them doubt Yao Guang's motives. But Yao Guang smiled sarcastically. Kesha has begun to soften recently, and the purification has begun to take effect. She is very afraid that Chen Feng's next target will be her. After all, the cunning rabbit is dead, the running dogs are cooked, the birds are gone, and the good bow is hidden. She would be really useless by then, and Chen Feng still wasn't sure what to do with her. It is better to find a way to add 2 more members to this park, no, to this small world. Once Chen Feng had some fun, he wouldn't touch her. Secondly, her key information can also reflect her value and friendliness, showing that she is still on Chen Feng's side. Thirdly, she did not like Elena. The Clan of Light was too hypocritical. Fourthly, if there were too many strong people here, it might be difficult for Chen Feng to control them, and she would be more likely to escape. The most important thing was that she couldn't help but smile when she thought that the other party might be treated the same way as Kesha. Hee, Brother Chen Feng and my sisters are very kind to me, so I will naturally do my part. Chapter 216 I choose to surrender. Humanity, join the light. Elena chanted slogans softly, with a holy expression of extreme narcissism on her face. But she suddenly felt that the flow of her voice had slowed down. What happened? This thought just flashed through my mind. A figure has appeared behind her. Covered in red hair, with an extremely terrifying aura, and cold and warlike eyes, he stared at Elena, dozens of superpowers fully unleashed. It's Chen Feng in Super 4 state. Now Chen Feng has achieved the integration of many supernatural powers into himself. In just an instant, the halo of destruction came with many auras, and Elena's body began to disintegrate uncontrollably. At this moment, Elena's expression also became distorted. This change came too suddenly. There was no time to surprise her. The body obeyed the disintegration and began to disappear directly. Countless rays of light overflowed. This is the means by which she has remained standing for countless years. No creature can exceed the speed of light and leave her scattered body behind. But today she met Chen Feng, a bastard from another world. Want to escape? Chen Feng remembered Yao Guang's reminder. In addition to the confinement of time and space, the most powerful gravity broke out at that moment. A singularity appeared in the center of Elena's body, and a terrifying black hole appeared there. The light scattered around tens of cubic meters suddenly made a stagnant movement in the air. Even the light could not escape from the edge of the horizon. Chen Feng gritted his teeth and exploded again. Such a terrifying gravitational force would be a devastating blow even to himself. Black holes seem to be able to destroy everything in the world. He cannot always support this countless times of gravity. But, he just needs to outlast Elena. And as Chen Feng's body began to disintegrate, countless qi and blood overflowed uncontrollably, trying to turn into nourishment for the black hole. The light was finally absorbed and turned around, and unexpectedly recondensed at the singularity at the center of the black hole. But this time, Elena's body has become much smaller. The huge body that was originally several meters tall has now turned into a small person of about 1.5 meters, and now there is blood at the corner of her mouth, and the black hole in her body is still dealing a devastating blow to her. Although Chen Feng had the intention to take down the opponent at this moment, he did not dare to let go at all. Because this most powerful method can only destroy Elena. Once she lets go, the opponent will leave again. If you want to keep your opponent next time, it may not be that simple. It can only be destroyed. Chen Feng thought so and showed no mercy at all. Do not kill me. I am willing to surrender. At the center of the singularity, Elena felt her original energy flowing away rapidly, but the light was blocked, and she had no idea who had touched her. There was only a strong shadow of death hanging over her mind. As the goddess of light, she has participated in countless historical disputes since millions of years ago. From ancient times to the present, she has failed and been powerless. But he has never faced death. No matter how high level a creature is, there seems to be an upper limit, and that is light. Without using the laws of space, almost no creature can go faster than the speed of light. So she's never been in this situation. The holy and noble goddess of light has never bowed to the devil. She never compromised in the slightest. But in the face of real death, extreme fear took over her mind. The feeling of imminent death is more difficult to accept than anything else. She made her choice quickly. Submit, I am willing to surrender, don't kill me. Do not kill me. Elena screamed at her most fragile spiritual origin and accepted any contract. She no longer cares whether the other person is a devil or something else. She just wants to survive. Feeling a spiritual power coming from the center of the black hole, which conveyed a signal of surrender, Chen Feng also heard a reminder in his mind. It has been detected that Elena, the goddess of light, has surrendered to you. Do you want to sign a master-servant treaty with her? Chen Feng was delighted when he heard this. Elena's strength is already higher than that of Emperor Hong. If she surrenders, her power will be greatly increased. He didn't expect that the other party would be so cowardly. It seems that the more holy the goddess is, the more afraid of death she is. Okay, sign it now. Chen Feng felt that he could no longer bear it. Since he had released such a powerful gravitational force and had to hold on to the gravitational force released by himself, his pressure was twice as much as Elena's. At the center of the singularity, Elena felt the Supreme Master-Servant Treaty transmitted by Chen Feng, and without any hesitation, Elena immediately chose to sign it. It is better to sign any agreement than to die now. Order. Congratulations to the host for successfully subduing Elena as a servant and gaining 50% of her strength. When he heard the system prompt, Chen Feng felt that he and Elena had an extremely close spiritual connection, just like the one he signed with Ari. He decisively stopped his hand, and at the same time, a huge amount of energy began to increase within his body. After all, it is half Elena's ability, which is many times stronger than the average true god. Although he could not directly obtain Elena's light power, Chen Feng still felt a sense of relief, and at the same time he became closer to the light power. Comfortable. The damage suffered before has completely disappeared. Chen Feng removed the gravity and finally saw Elena inside. I saw that Elena's figure had shrunk again at this moment, becoming about 1.2 meters tall, and her whole image had become more immature. After feeling death finally escape, Elena saw her master for the first time. Chen Feng, a human race. But without any hesitation, she flew directly in front of Chen Feng, her knees weakened, and she knelt down in the air. Thank you, master, for sparing my life. Elena will be your most loyal servant from now on. She is willing to do anything for her master and is willing to be loyal to you wholeheartedly. No matter what difficulties I encounter, no matter what temptations I face, I will be unswervingly loyal to you, safeguard your interests, and obey your orders. I am willing to dedicate everything to you, including my life. Please accept my loyalty, master. I will always follow you and never leave you. Owner. Seeing Elena prostrating herself at his feet with a pious look on her face, Chen Feng smiled. It turns out that these goddesses who play with gods and gods can transform into their own servants in a second, giving up any dignity and resistance. You must make good use of each other when the time comes. Okay, I get it. Chen Feng said calmly. Kneel down first. Elena didn't have any dissatisfaction and replied, yes. At this moment, Chen Zan and Chen Chengsheng finally saw clearly the figure exposed in the void. Chen Feng's movements were too fast before, and he used countless powers to create an absolute field in an instant, isolating them, and they had no idea what was happening. At this moment, the field disappeared, and they finally saw clearly the figure inside. Chapter 217 The Truth of the World. It's Dad. It's really Dad. Fenger. Chen Zan had caused other humans to flee due to the sudden change before, but he and Chen Chengsheng stayed behind because of their feelings. Unexpectedly, it was Chen Feng who actually took action. Chen Feng was also a little excited when he saw his father and son. Dad, live forever. The two flew towards him, and the three of them hugged each other tightly. After the hug, Chen Zan just patted Chen Feng's shoulder heavily. Fenger, I knew it was you. Only you can possess such terrifying strength. As he spoke, he pointed at Elena who was kneeling next to him, showing a complicated expression. Fenger, has she been surrendered by you? When he said this, his mood was extremely difficult to explain. After activating the SSS level ether element, He is now known as the #1 person under the true God, but facing Elena, he cannot even resist. His son Chen Feng was able to take down the opponent in an instant. He suddenly had the feeling that he was old and could he still eat. Seemingly sensing his father's frustration, Chen Feng also patted him heavily on the shoulder. Dad, what are you thinking about? This person is above the 3 true angels. It's not that you are too weak, it's that she is too strong. Of course, I'm stronger. So you look weak. But being weaker than me, isn't it normal? I'm better than my master. It makes you look more awesome, Dad. Hearing Chen Feng's pretentious words, Chen Zan didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and punched him. Okay, I know. In fact, I also want to retire and take good care of myself, so you should come back as soon as possible. I'm tired. The kids miss you too. Hearing his father's urging, Chen Feng understood that he was concerned about him, but he shook his head helplessly. Father, I can only take action 3 times a month. You should be careful in the future. In 5 years at most, I can return. At that time, I will solve all the troubles. Hearing his son's confident words, Chen Zan also knew that there was nothing he could do and nodded heavily. I understand. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. Then please be safe. Chen Changsheng, on the other hand, has been listening by the side. At this moment, he was excitedly looking at his father's transformation. Dad, is this the Super 4 form? Teach me how to transform. Chen Feng also found it funny when he heard this. Transformation still needs to be tempered in battle. Of course, being able to mobilize one's anger is also a talent. There are no concrete shortcuts. Hearing this, Chen Changsheng was a little disappointed, but he quickly cheered up again. I know Dad. Seeing that he was sensible, Chen Feng remembered the 3 true gods of the angel clan and looked at Elena who was standing aside. Why do I feel that the 3 birdmen are escaping back? Can you control them and join our camp? After hearing the master's question, Elena still knelt down and replied respectfully, I'm sorry, master. They have noticed it since I surrendered to you. So they chose to run away. Master, do you need me to catch them back? Even though most of her energy was consumed by Chen Feng, Elena was still confident of winning the 3 true gods. Hearing this, Chen Feng shook his head. The 3 true gods are no longer a concern. As far as I know, you are not the only goddess in your clan, right? Elena didn't hide anything. Yes, but I woke up first, and others are still waking up one after another. Now is the best time to destroy the angel clan. After hearing her words, Chen Feng's lips twitched slightly. I understand, but don't worry. What is the relationship between the angel clan and the major races? Tell me. What other races have not yet appeared? Why do I, the human race, make you hate me so much? He asked out all the doubts in his mind. Before, he had just some guesses, but Yao Guang was a ghost, so he didn't want to believe what the other party said. At this moment, Emperor Hong and Emperor Qing also arrived. Brother Chen Feng. The moment the 2 of them saw Chen Feng, they were extremely excited and hugged him. Seeing this, Chen Feng also smiled. Big brother, second brother. Chen Feng was very pleased to feel that both of them had improved in strength. I can only show up for an hour, 3 times a month at most, and I'll be leaving soon. After hearing Chen Feng's explanation, the 2 emperors nodded heavily. As long as you're okay. At the same time, Hong Di looked at Elena who was kneeling aside. He felt that the other person's aura was more powerful than him, and he was extremely impressed. Brother Chen Feng, have you conquered this already? He could feel the master-servant connection between Chen Feng and Elena. Well, it's time to unveil many mysteries about this world. Upon hearing this, Emperor Hong and Emperor Qing both looked at Elena with serious faces. Elena started her own story. The history of this world cannot be measured how far back it is. But tens of millions of years ago, for the first time, a strong man in the realm of true gods appeared in this world. And this strong man is from the human race. Hearing this, everyone present had solemn expressions. Because as far as they knew, the first human race to arrive on the battlefield outside the territory was Emperor Hong. And that was more than 300 years ago. But now Elena says that this human race appeared tens of millions of years ago. He broke away from his small world and came to the battlefield outside the territory. Then he found the entrance to each small world and began to lead the human race to invade the major worlds. Chen Feng heard this and interrupted. Wait a minute, this human race you are talking about has invaded other worlds. Is this true or false? And Elena shook her head. Master, I was not born at that time. The information I know is only the information I can know, and I cannot verify the details. Seeing that she didn't know, Chen Feng said, then you continue. Good master. Since this powerful human race began to lead mankind to invade various worlds, many worlds have begun fierce resistance and long struggles. During this period, although the human race eliminated many races that resisted them, there were also many stubborn races that survived. The best among them are the Void clan who fled to the void to survive, the Light clan who yearned for the sun, the Star clan who relied on the stars, the Chaos clan who were completely transformed into beasts, and the Demon clan that split from the human race. These 5 major races the most powerful. You all know about other races besides this. The rapid growth of the 5 major races has posed a threat to the human race. At the most critical moment, the powerful human race suddenly disappeared. The 5 major races led many races to launch a long resistance war against the human race, and finally wiped them out completely. However, the small world of the human race was never found. It seems to be hidden by that strong man. When Elena said this, everyone had their own thoughts. Hongdi asked directly, then our blue star is the world that the human race was in back then. Also, what is the name of that human race? Chapter 218 If the sky falls, I will carry it. What's the name of that human race? When Elena heard this question, countless memories started to work in her mind. A moment later, when everyone looked at her strangely, she frowned and shook her head helplessly. I can't remember. Hearing this answer, everyone present became even more surprised. If Elena says she doesn't know, or there is no record, then it is possible. But she said she had forgotten. A being above the true God would forget one thing, or is it such an important thing? While everyone else looked at Elena with doubts, Chen Feng could feel that Elena was indeed confused. Now that Elena was his servant, no thoughts or actions could be hidden from him. She really forgot. It seems that this person's name cannot be revealed. Chen Feng explained to Elena. After hearing what Chen Feng said, no one present had any objections. Chen Feng all said that it must be true. Yes, master. I remembered this name before, because this period of history is something that the top leaders of every race remember. It is the truth that is passed down orally in this world. But I don't know when it started, and I suddenly forgot. Even now that I think about it, other tribesmen have never mentioned this person again. It seems that he has disappeared in the long river of history. Elena gave her own explanation, and at the same time she was extremely confused about it, because in her huge memory, it seemed that this matter was placed in a certain corner. It was as if someone had deliberately mentally tampered with it. Have you suddenly forgotten? Even after so many years, this person's name still has such power. At this moment, Chen Feng also greatly admired this human race that had actively invaded other worlds. At the same time, he also thought of a definitional issue, which was also related to the previous issue. Elena, is the current blue star the same world that the human race lived in back then? Hearing Chen Feng's question, Elena fell into thinking again, and then gave her judgment. Reporting to the master, no other race in history has ever been able to enter the original human planet. It disappeared and cut off its connection with the battlefield outside the territory. So seriously speaking, no creature has ever seen the human home planet of that period. Upon seeing this, Chen Feng asked again, then why can you determine that we are the human race? This time Elena quickly replied, because you look exactly the same as the human race in the records. As an example, that is the Void race, the Light race, the Star race, the Chaos race and the Demon race. In order to gain stronger power, among us, the strongest ones are all similar to the human race. Because we found that no matter what form it is, the more human it looks like in the end, the stronger it will become. So the human race was once called the chosen race, but later, it was slandered as a sinful race, the most damnable race. The best proof is that you and I look almost the same, master. After hearing this explanation, everyone present suddenly realized, that's it. No wonder the royal families in most races are so similar to my human race. Hongdi said, although I have always suspected this before, I feel that I am too arrogant. Why do strong people from other races look the same as us? Are we really stronger than them? It seems now that I'm not arrogant, but that this is the truth. At this moment, Chen Feng also knew most of the questions that had been confusing him, but there was one more important thing. So among these 5 major races, which race is the strongest? How strong is the strongest person, and how does it compare to me? It's not that Chen Feng is inflated, but that he has successfully captured the goddess of light through a sneak attack today. So how strong must the being above the goddess of light be? With a goal, he has a direction. Hongdi, who was present, was also full of fighting spirit and curiosity when he heard this question. He also wants to know how many strong people there are in this world. Reporting back to the human race, among the major races that currently exist on the battlefield outside the territory, the strongest ones are in the realm of true gods. On their respective home planets and true gods, the divisions of the major races are basically unified. True God, Lord God, God King, these are the vast majority of the combat power among the 5 major races, and I am in the realm of Lord God. As for the God Kings, they are the supreme ones among the 5 major races. They gather the power of the entire race. Their strength. Speaking of this, Alina's face showed pain, the corners of her mouth turned white, and her body was trembling slightly, looking extremely painful. Seeing this scene, Chen Feng comforted him and said, "If you can't say anything to the existence above, just don't say it." When he said this, he was also a little sad. Even his servants could not tell the information of those supreme beings, which was beyond his knowledge. Because he has already integrated most of the small world, if the opponent's strength is really that terrifying, even after merging the small world, he may not be the opponent's opponent. This made him feel great pressure and threat for the first time since time travel. You can talk about other things first. For example, what is my current strength level? Feeling Chen Feng's kindness, Elena said gratefully, "Thank you, Master, for your mercy. As for you, Master, you should be the top master of the Lord God, but your true combat power should have reached the level of a God King." As for each major race, there are basically 3 to 5 powerful men at the level of God Kings, more than a dozen main gods, and there are probably hundreds of true gods. The most powerful force among them is undoubtedly the void. They are constantly developing in the boundless universe and cannot be calculated. Within millions of years, they have begun to invade all major races, and each major race is also the most hostile to them. After Elena finished speaking, everyone present fell into a long silence. Beyond the true God, in addition to the Supreme Being, there are 2 levels, the Lord God and the God King. Even when Brother Chen Feng transformed, he only reached the level of God King. It seems that I still have a long way to go. Hongdi sighed incomparably. Originally, he thought that after taking that step, he would be the strongest person in the world. But now it seems that he is only half-step to the Master God. Even if he has truly reached the realm of the Master God, he is still far away. Even someone as strong as Chen Feng has only reached the realm of the God King. Others are even more so. Even Chen Zan and Chen Changsheng fell into confusion and despair after knowing that there were still so many terrifying realms. There is still a huge and insurmountable distance between them and the true God. What about the Lord God, the God King, the Most High? Seeing everyone looking downcast, Chen Feng smiled and said, "What are you afraid of? If the sky falls, I will carry it, don't worry. What's more, these existences are so obsessed but never show up. I guess there are many restrictions." Chapter 219. It's just the demons. Even if they dare to show up, we still don't know who will win. Maybe they wake up one by one and kill them one by one. Even though he was under a lot of pressure, Chen Feng's cheerful and confident smile gave everyone present renewed hope. Although it was just a simple encouragement, when these words came out of Chen Feng's mouth, the effect was very strong. Chen Feng's previous experiences have proven that he is a miracle that can change everything and is also the most powerful existence in the history of the human race. And he has reached the realm of the God King, so he is only one level away from the highest. Elena heard her master's words and agreed unconditionally. That's what the master said. There is indeed a reason why our major races do not appear. In the long river of time, although many strong people have been able to achieve immortality, there are conditions for this. Hearing this, Qing Emperor and Hong Emperor looked at each other. In fact, they didn't know how long their lifespan was. At least they didn't feel that they were aging yet. When Elena saw this, she looked at Hong Emperor and Qing Emperor and explained, maybe you two can't feel it yet because you are too young. In the true God realm, the strongest period is within 3,000 years. After 3,000 years, it will gradually move towards aging and even death. So after 3,000 years, everyone will go into deep sleep. Sleeping reduces one's own consumption, and can also gradually restore one's state during the sleeping process. This process usually lasts for more than 10,000 years. If nothing major happens on the battlefield outside the territory, it may even last for hundreds of thousands of years. In this time, everyone started to wake up, precisely because of the appearance of the human race. Speaking of this, Elena said another key piece of information. As far as I know, everyone is eager to wake up this time, which is not the best state. What's more, in extraterrestrial battlefields, the more powerful the existence, the shorter the time it can stay. The most obvious one is the true God. This world rejects such a powerful existence. Does the Lord feel this? Chen Feng was stunned when he heard Elena's reminder. Have it. However, he remembered that the world had rejected him before, and felt something was different. He could feel that the world's rejection of him was different from its rejection of the strong. He is an existence from another world. This world is not repulsive to him, but hostile to him. But of course he wouldn't say this. So according to what you said, the safety of the human race is okay for the time being? Chen Feng asked. Reporting to the master, you can't think so. As far as I know, things changed on the battlefield outside the territory some time ago. It should be that the main god of the Star Clan appeared, and there are traces of the void. The dark guys from the Demon Clan have been hiding, and the Chaos Clan is where they are. There is also turmoil in the Lost Realm. So humans still need to be careful. Hearing that Elena didn't seem to know the news about Yao Guang and Kesha, Chen Feng said directly, don't worry, the Saint of the Star Clan and the Daughter of the Void are all on my territory and trapped by me. Quote. And you? Hearing this, a trace of embarrassment appeared on Elena's face, but she said firmly, it seems that the Angel Clan's intelligence is too backward. But it is my honor to be captured by you, Master. Seeing her being so honored, Chen Feng also moved his index finger slightly. Yao Guang and Kesha couldn't eat it yet, but this one was honored to be eaten. Especially now that Elena has become more immature. The goddess of light that has lasted millions of years has turned into a little girl. Of course, with all the humans here, he couldn't show it too obviously. Ahem. By the way, the Chaos tribe you are talking about are those in the Lost Realm. Chen Feng said that he had already intervened in the virtual universe, and the three dead beasts inside now did not pose the slightest threat to him. Of course, he couldn't research anything and almost forgot about it. Now listening to what Elena said, this seemed to be something from the Chaos tribe, and she suddenly became interested. Is it this one? As Chen Feng raised one hand, the dead beasts in the virtual universe suddenly disappeared, and a cage appeared in front of everyone, with one of the dead beasts trapped inside. It was more than 10 meters long, like a twisted human race's smooth body, without any hair. It had hands, feet, and a head, but no facial features. The moment Chen Feng grabbed it, its eyes suddenly opened, and countless densely packed eyes appeared. His pupils were filled with violence and killing, and he stared at everything around him. When Chen Feng saw that the other party dared to be so arrogant, he immediately slapped him down. In his Super 4 state, with just one palm, the dead beast that seemed to be between nothingness and reality was instantly broken off from its hands and feet, and countless gray and ink colors poured out. Die, 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 die. For the first time, pain showed on the dead beast's face, and it let out a heart-stopping horrifying scream. However, Chen Feng didn't get used to it. The ropes around it appeared instantly, trapping it tightly, and slapped it down again. Snapped. The dead beast's head was knocked half off its body. When Elena on the side saw this, her mouth twitched slightly. Yes, Master, this is the existence of the Chaos Clan. This is the lowest existence among them, but the Chaos Clan is an invincible existence among all major races at the same level. Even I need to be careful to deal with the Chaos Clan in the True God realm. Only you, Master, have the ability to imprison them. Chen Feng still felt very comfortable hearing Elena's flattery. I didn't expect this thing to be from the Chaos tribe. It seems I want to take it away and study it carefully. Chen Feng has already calculated that in his small world so far, Kesha belongs to the Void clan, Yaoguang belongs to the Star clan, and soon Elena, a dead beast from the Light clan and Chaos clan, will also enter. Coupled with his human race, the entire park, no, the entire small world is full of vitality. Just the demons. Thinking of this, Chen Feng was also a little excited. That's the general information. It's time for me to leave you. Chen Feng said to everyone and hugged his child Chen Chengsheng again. Ha 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 ha. There are so many strong people in this world. It seems that I am not alone. Hongdi laughed loudly. Seeing his eldest brother being so heroic, Qingdi touched his nose. Well, although I hate to admit it, I will never be able to catch up with my eldest brother and brother Chen Feng in this life. But I will still keep moving forward. Even if there is a supreme being, I still have to be qualified to resist when he kills me. Chen Zan and Chen Chengsheng looked at Chen Feng with reluctance in their eyes. Don't worry, you are really in danger, I will take action. But you only have 3 chances a month, remember. As Chen Feng's voice disappeared, Elena and the dead beast also disappeared. Chapter 220 Yaoguang's Methods. Small World. Yaoguang saw Elena, who was about to surrender, with a hint of helplessness in her eyes and her fists clenched tightly. Too cowardly. This guy is too cowardly. She surrendered when Chen Feng beat her up. Can't you have some backbone? Will you refuse to obey even if you die? Where is the pride of the Guangqi tribe? However, when Chen Feng arrived with Elena and the dead beast, her expression changed at the speed of light and she greeted Shang Dian. Welcome brother Chen Feng. Welcome sister Elena. Welcome, prisoner of chaos. Seeing her here, Elena had expected it, but she could sense that Yaoguang had not submitted to Chen Feng, and immediately sent a message in her mind. Master, this Yaoguang is the saint of the Star clan. She has many methods and thoughts, you need to be careful. Especially when the Star clan is communicating deeply with people, they are likely to use their own gravity to absorb all of the other party's energy. In history, a main god of our tribe was once killed by the people of the Star clan using this kind of method. After hearing Elena's reminder, Chen Feng felt his waist go weak. No wonder Yaoguang looked so fearless before. It turned out that she was waiting for him here. Although he is the master in this world and certainly won't be as useless as the Guangxu tribe, it never hurts to be careful. One has to be calm when doing things. A gentleman does not stand under a dangerous wall. Without sufficient confidence, Chen Feng would not use his second brother as an experiment. Then do you know any way to deal with her? Hearing her master's question, Elena thought for a moment, and then her little face turned red. Master, I do have a secret method that can suppress her methods, but I'm afraid it will require. We need to act together then. She also discovered that there were many women in this small world who could communicate with her master, and they must be her master's partners. I guess it's not her turn to do anything. This made her a little discouraged and she said, I can tell this secret method to the master. Master and mistresses can work together to cultivate the chain and deal with Yaoguang. Chen Feng was very happy to see Elena's shy look and her open secret method. However, seeing that the other party seemed to be reluctant to accept, Chen Feng asked directly, why are you not willing to repair the chain with me? Hearing this, Elena was shocked and quickly knelt down in front of Chen Feng. Master misunderstood me. I just feel that my status is low and my strength is low, so I am not worthy of practicing this method with the master. Seeing this, Chen Feng patted her head and said with a smile, you are so understanding, how could I dislike you? Good. Elena was overjoyed when she heard this. Thank you, master. After being enslaved, she was proud to be intimate with Chen Feng and to dedicate herself to Chen Feng. Yaoguang, who was standing by, only felt that the two were communicating, but she didn't know the content. But seeing how intimate the two were, he secretly felt something was wrong. Bad, 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 it's getting bad. Elena has been taken as a slave by Chen Feng. She might come after me. She might have told Chen Feng about my secret method. I was only planning to absorb some of his energy and not harm his life. In this way, he might misunderstand me. Thinking of this, Yaoguang's face turned pale. She had seen everything that Kaisa was going through, the dragon's claws, the heart-piercing kicks, the cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Although they wouldn't kill people, they were extremely torturous for any living thing. For so many years, Kesha has been the daughter of the void, illusory and vague. She has always led the void creatures to ambush other creatures. Even the god kings among the major races cannot catch her, such a rebellious and noble existence. In Chen Feng's hands, the machine was almost broken down by CPR. Thinking about it, if it was her who was being given CPR, Yao Guang's legs would have gone weak and she would have felt numb. Seeing this, Chen Feng, who was standing by, probably guessed what she was thinking, but he smiled kindly. Yao Guang, fight for me and purify Kesha. You don't have to try the 3-piece CPR set, and I won't kill you. That's my promise. Chen Feng said seriously that at his level, there was almost no need to lie, and when he said this, he released his mental power to let Yao Guang feel his kindness. Okay. Yao Guang felt Chen Feng's sincerity, and while she breathed a sigh of relief, she also understood the subtext of Chen Feng's words. That kind of situation is really unavoidable. After dealing with Yao Guang, Chen Feng saw the imprisoned beast nearby. Seeing that the other party was still half dead, completely unconscious, and looked crazy and disordered, he directly trapped it next to Kesha. Kesha, who was originally sleeping to recuperate, was suddenly startled. Then she saw the beast appear beside her, and her face immediately turned bad. Even she hated these disgusting chaos creatures. It would be a waste of time to kill them. A bunch of disgusting things living in a fixed area. But when Chen Feng put this thing next to her, she dared not say anything. Having completed 2 treatments today, she didn't want to proceed to the next one. Chen Feng on the side was looking at the beast, with curiosity and cruelty in his eyes. It is said that the Chaos Clan has abandoned humanity and turned completely to bestiality. But I don't think so. Isn't this body quite similar to that of a human? You keep asking humans to die. I want to see what you mean. As Chen Feng spoke, he suddenly grabbed one of the beast's arms and pulled it hard. Swish! The beast that was able to chase and kill Emperor Hong had already had half of its body cut off by him, and countless blood was splattered all over. The beast also let out a roar. Die! Die! Chen Feng also became interested when he heard the other party's even more tragic screams. Sorry, I used too much force. But since you feel pain, you still have some consciousness. I'll give you a chance now, don't say die. Be polite and you won't get spanked. Unfortunately, I don't know whether the beast heard Chen Feng's words. It only saw that it was still staring at Chen Feng with half of its eyes, and the other half of its body was still slowly repairing itself. Can't understand, still don't want to listen. Or is it both? Die. Seeing the beast's stubborn look, Chen Feng also became interested. The recovery is a bit slow. Let me help you. As he spoke, he actually mobilized a stream of energy to help the other party recover his energy, but he soon discovered that the energy of normal creatures was useless to the beast. Oh, wild boars can't eat fine bran. Chen Feng uttered a mocking sound. Then he mobilized endless chaotic energy. As the master of a small world, he possessed all the energy of the big world. I'll let you experience what it means to recover at the speed of light. As chaotic energy poured into the beast's body, Chen Feng saw that its body began to recover rapidly. Chapter 221 New Member. 2 hours later. Tearing and pulling, charging and exploding the beast, after trying all kinds of tricks, Chen Feng found that the roar of the beast seemed to become smaller. But he is still very stubborn and just stands there. Kesha's face was livid at the moment. The dead beast was right next to her. The roar made her upset, and the blood of the dead beast splashed on her from time to time. Although the skin has its own cleansing function, this feeling is really unpleasant. After Chen Feng got tired of playing, he saw Kesha standing next to him, looking like she was about to get internal injuries from anger. He suddenly waved his hand, and the rope that bound Kesha was untied. The moment she felt the restraints on her body being released, Kesha felt her heartbeat speed up to an incomparable level. It could make her want to become invisible again and find a way to escape from here. But her experience brought her back to her rationality. The energy in her body only concentrated for a moment, and then she regained her composure. There's no escape. There is absolutely no escape. What do you want to do? Kesha looked at Chen Feng with a complicated look in her eyes. At this moment, Chen Feng was secretly happy to see her like this. In fact, he had discovered during this period of time that after the purification of Yaoguang, Kesha's temperament had changed a little. It's not just because of his three-piece suit, but a change in his inner qualities. Kesha is not far from being truly reformed. However, he did not show it, but a hint of sarcasm appeared at the corner of his mouth. I see that you are quite angry, but you are no match for me. It just so happens that I need to give this dead beast a good lesson, so you can do it for me. As Chen Feng spoke, he also gave the dead beast a dragon fruit attack. No matter what method you use, give him 200 sets every day. I'll see the effect then. If there's no effect, I'll continue to train you. Hearing Chen Feng's words, Kesha was a little unresponsive for a moment. She bit her red lips and asked, "You mean as long as I help you train the Chaos Clan, I won't?" Yeah. Chen Feng said this and disappeared into the distance. Elena also disappeared. He hasn't tried this form yet. Even Su Xiaoxiao doesn't look as young and immature as Elena. More importantly, they are members of the Mingguang clan and it is not against the law. On the other side, Yi Shishi heard Chen Feng's voice transmission and a funny expression appeared on her face. Sisters, it looks like we're going to have new sisters. Su Xiaoxiao heard this and looked aggrieved. It's clearly my turn today. Lin Taotao gently hugged her slender waist. Tomorrow is my turn, then we will be together. Yi Ning shook his head. What tomorrow? Do you think it will take a day or two for Lao Xiao to finish this? I'm going to be delayed too. Bingdi waved his hand generously. We are all family, why should we mind the order of priority? We'll be together then. Tang Ying nodded. Sister Bingdi is right. I agree. Elena looked at Chen Feng and said, please whip me well. ... Time flies like an arrow. In a flash, several days passed. During this period, Chen Feng took action dozens of times, and many times at critical moments he saved the collapsing building and turned the tide, leaving an indelible mark for the human race. Although the masters of the major races are gradually awakening, they are still very wary of the human race and dare not attack them easily. They can only support and enslave the major races to fight against the human race. The descendants of the Chen family gradually became stronger, and Chen Haoyu took the lead in starting his own growth journey, from Super 1 to Super 2, then Super 3, and Super 4. The final complete form is already able to surpass the average true god. Inherited his father's number 1 title. The top 4 are still Hongdi, Leishan, Qingdi, and Kongshan. The contributions of these 4 people to the human race are unquestionable, and that is why Chen Haoyu insisted on putting them behind him. As for Chen Feng, he is no longer ranked. He is the god of the human race. Chen Chengbei followed closely behind and had already begun to comprehend the Super Saiyan 4 state. Girls like Chen Shanyao and Chen Nana are also women who are not inferior to men and are in the Super 3 state, while other children are all in the Super 2 state. The entire human race is in a very good condition. Especially after Chen Feng's children grew up, they remarried. The blood of the Chen family spread throughout the major families and combined with the best seeds of the human race again. The members in the small world also began to expand after Chen Feng's repeated attacks. Chen Feng's ghostly teleportation and strength that reached the level of God King enabled him to find a good target, and once he made a move, there was no chance of success. The entire extraterritorial battlefield is his back garden. No matter you hide in a secret realm, a forbidden area, or even just out of the door of your own small world, you will be taken away by Chen Feng. Of course, the ugly ones and the boys were killed, and the pretty girls were taken away. Member number 4, Star Clan, Mars. Member number 5, from the Light Clan, Finola. Member number 6, from the Void Clan, Lu Fei. Member number 7, Demon Yila. Member number 8, Yuheng, Star Clan. Member number 9, Star Clan, Ling Yao. Member number 10, Light Clan, Serafina. Member number 11, Bella, from the Light Clan. Member number 12, the Light Clan, Liasu. Member number 14, Amy, from the Light Clan. Member number 15, Julia, from the Light Clan. Member number 16, Lillian, from the Light Clan. Member number 17. Elf, Sif. Due to Emily's unconditional submission, with her help, the Light Clan suffered the greatest losses. It was not until the appearance of the God King Clements that Chen Feng stopped. Of course, the objective situation is that the strong men of the Chaos Clan are nowhere to be seen, and there are only those dead beasts, which are useless to catch. Apart from Kaisa, Lu Fei is the only beautiful one among the Void Clan. Both she and Kaisa have purple skin. There are not many star tribes. Even the Light Clan had generous provisions, and each of them looked extremely noble, like a goddess, but they all signed servant contracts under the coercion and inducement of Chen Feng. The point of fighting is that if you are stronger than her, she will surrender. However, after suffering considerable losses, no more masters appeared from any of the major races. But Chen Feng was not happy. Because that day he had a shocking battle with Clements, the God King of the Light Clan. During his sneak attack, countless slaves of the Light Clan gave him information, which allowed him to narrowly win. It cannot be said that he won by crushing the opponent. After the night fell, the entire extraterritorial battlefield experienced a wave of the sun rising in the sky. All major races are in constant fear. This battle is also known as the Battle of the Age of Gods. No one below the true God is qualified to watch the battle. Many weak creatures were injured by the powerful combat energy. And the other party was not seriously injured and is expected to return soon. Now that we have figured out Chen Feng's strength, there will definitely be more than one God King appearing next time. The God King level seems to be Chen Feng's limit. The super God state seems difficult to comprehend. Chen Feng secretly sighed that in order to reach the super God state, it seems that he needs to completely integrate the small world, which requires the accumulation of time and cannot be rushed. Today, Corolla brought Sif to see him. Sif was not really abducted by him. She was rescued by Chen Feng when the Void Clan wanted to hold the elves hostage to negotiate terms with Chen Feng. As soon as he entered the door, Chen Feng saw that Corolla and his wife looked a little embarrassed. Corolla ran up and hugged Chen Feng's arms, whispering in his ear, "Hubby, Zaifu, she said she wants a child too." Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audio Wave. Chapter 222 Who is Yi Tian? Sif. When Chen Feng saw Zaifu, who was taller than him, he felt a little confused. When Greenfield Forest came to save Corolla, they did meet once. At first, I wanted to experience the feeling of being a demigod. The current true gods have all experienced it. There is nothing unusual about this demigod statue. But it's just Xifu's plump figure, beautiful face, and big beauty. Especially the other party's reluctant but welcoming demeanor. It seems that Chen Feng still has his charm. After a long time, Chen Feng was smoking by the window. I have almost completed the fusion of the small world. But why do I still feel a little palpitation and uneasiness? Reply to the host, the road has come to this point, you can only keep moving forward. Hearing the encouragement from the leader, Chen Feng could only smile bitterly. He had previously tried to connect the hearts of his descendants and perform the so-called super divine transformation, but in the end he had never succeeded. I think if you really want to reach that level, you have to be strong enough. But he could hardly see the road ahead. The captured active goddess of light had increased his energy to a nearly infinite level, but in terms of level, it was still not enough. You can only rely on transformation to fight against the God King. And above the God King, there is the unspeakable supreme existence. Even thinking about the other party's existence, Chen Feng felt tremendous pressure. The president packed up all the rewards he had received recently, saying that he would be rewarded at a critical moment. Chen Feng was both excited and worried about this big pie. Host, don't worry. I will help you at the critical moment. Can you guarantee that I can handle the Supreme? No, don't have any illusions. The Supreme Being is beyond your imagination and your limits. Don't tell me I'll never have the chance to reach that level in my lifetime, even with you. No. The Supreme Being has existed for tens of millions of years. Do you think you can surpass it in just a few decades? Chen Feng. At this moment, Long Ruobing also knocked on the door. Hubby, my aunt Long Jing has also been single and still has no partner. Look. Deep in the void, ever since Keisha and Lu Fei were taken away by Chen Feng, the void creatures have not appeared in the world for a long time. Until one day, a man who looked like a human walked out from the huge void crack. Simple bangs covered half of his eyes. Under his ordinary appearance, he had a pair of very sharp eyes, and in front of him, there were 5 extremely powerful wills. Human, your body has been completely transformed. Are you really willing to entrust your strength to us to complete your revenge? If your will slackens even a little, not only will you fail to complete your revenge, you will also perish. It will also waste our preparations. The voice of the Supreme Lord of the Void was heard, and the 4 wills around him were those of the Supreme Lord of Light, the Supreme Lord of Chaos, the Supreme Lord of the Demon Clan, and the Supreme Lord of the Star Clan. These 5 beings have seen through everything. But they could not really descend on the battlefield outside the domain, nor could they find Chen Feng's small world. And Yi Tian is their most powerful force. When Yi Tian heard this, a sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. I risked my life to enter this game, and I wasn't afraid of failure. Now you're worried about me. How ridiculous. Yi Tian's voice echoed throughout the world. Seeing that the other party did not respond, his voice was extremely clear. Do you have any other choice besides me? Send out all your powerful god kings. Are you sure you can kill him or keep him? If not, when Chen Feng grows to the highest realm, you will all die. No one can resist his pace of growth. Yi Tian's face was already grim when he recalled everything that happened after the first day he met Chen Feng. His body had unconsciously tensed up. When he thought of Chen Feng's achievements, the extreme anger and humiliation made every cell in his body filled with murderous intent. Seeing Yi Tian's performance, the 5 supreme wills finally moved. Just as Yi Tian said, they had no choice. Time is on Chen Feng's side. Chaos, bright, stars, void, magic. As the powers of the 5 supreme beings continued to flow into Yi Tian's body, Yi Tian soared into the air, his face full of pain and madness. This is the path he chose. This is his last fight. The human race is the most powerful race in the world. And he, Yi Tian, is the most powerful genius among the human race. Chen Feng, this time, I will take back everything I lost. Ha 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 ha. Feeling in extreme pain both physically and mentally, Yi Tian laughed out loud. It was this smile that was extremely terrifying. Human territory. Emperor Hong has been feeling something recently. Under the guidance of Brother Chen Feng, I have already reached the realm of the Lord God. But I've been feeling uneasy lately. What's wrong? Emperor Hong was confused and began to think about what he had seen and heard recently. In the end, his memory suddenly stopped at one person. Before Chen Feng appeared, the human race had reported to him the existence of a genius young man. However, his advice at the time was that since the other party was unwilling to actively expose his talent, then just let it grow. Yi Tian. The emergence of the Void Clan was caused by him. If the human race is the most powerful race in the world, then after Yi Tian, who is at the SSS level, joined the Void Clan. Could it be that he is the one who threatens our human race? Emperor Hong thought this conclusion was absurd, but it kept lingering in his mind. He immediately sent a message to the Green Emperor. Give me all the information about Yi Tian. By the way, Kong Shen is his master, and I want to talk to him too. The 3 pillars of the human race meet. After the meeting, the 3 found a girl who had had contact with Yi Tian. Lu Wenwen. Now Lu Wenwen has reached the level of War King and is serving as the captain of an elite team. When Emperor Hong, Emperor Qing and God Kong suddenly appeared, she was completely confused. Meet Emperor Hong. Meet the Green Emperor. Meet the Sky God. LV Wenwen was extremely shocked when she saw these 3 people in person for the first time. LV Wenwen, don't be nervous. I came to you to talk about Yi Tian. Are you free? Emperor Hong spoke straight to the point. When Lu Wenwen heard the name Yi Tian, a complicated look flashed across her eyes, but she still nodded. Good. After Qingdi's questioning, the basic information about Yi Tian soon became clear. Regarding Yi Tian, I once had a relationship with him, but later I found some unacceptable characteristics of him, so I left him. Besides being extremely selfish, I found him to be. Sometimes he looks at me like he wants to kill me. No, not only will he kill me, he will even look at other cells with this look. Chapter 223. You are right, but you and I are the same kind of people. That evil creature, even if he is dissatisfied with our human race, he should not have the strength to deal with us. Hongdi, why are you so worried? Before Emperor Hong could answer the question from God Kong, his expression changed drastically. An attack covering all human territories suddenly erupted in the sky. Destroy the human race. Destroy it. You are not worthy to be my people. There, a figure had already been standing there. His skin had turned into a mixture of colors, and his face had been completely distorted. If it weren't for his conspicuous bangs, no one would have been able to recognize him. His violent attack dyed the entire sky of the human territory gray. God King Realm. Emperor Hong roared and rushed towards Yi Tian. Qingdi and Kongshan followed closely behind. Evil creature. Stop it. Seeing his former disciple transformed into this state, the god of sky burst out with all his strength. The three of them rushed to Yi Tian in an instant, wanting to stop him, but saw a smile on Yi Tian's lips. You are blind and worship Chen Feng as if he were your own father. But you underestimate me, despise me, look down on me. You guys go die too. The energy in his body expanded again. Emperor Hong was the first to be hit. All his muscles exploded, but in an instant, he was completely crushed. Every muscle in his body exploded and flew out. The shadow of the Green Emperor god behind him had not yet taken shape when his heart was pierced directly. Yi Tian appeared in front of Kong Shen personally and confined all the space around him with one hand. Master, I obviously respect you very much. But you were asked by Chen Feng to be my master. You also taught me how to behave. Do you know how I feel? Yi Tian's face became more and more crazy, and the void energy in his hands was already pouring into the god of space. I want to kill you every moment. Do you know? Seeing that his former disciple had spoken his true feelings, the god of sky was no longer able to reply. And Yi Tian's energy will also engulf him. At the same time, the sky of the human race seemed to collapse. Yi Tian. He is killing indiscriminately on a large scale, he wants to completely destroy the entire human race. However, when he did all this, his mind was still tense. Chen Feng, you will definitely show up. Your relatives, friends, and children are all here. You will definitely show up. And as if in response to his cry, a figure suddenly appeared behind him. Yi Tian, I didn't expect that it would end up being a battle between the two of us. Chen Feng, who was in Super Saiyan 4 state, arrived the moment he realized something was wrong. Fortunately, the three pillars of the human race were only seriously injured and not dead yet. The moment Chen Feng's figure appeared, the smile on Yi Tian's mouth finally disappeared completely. Ha 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 ha, you finally showed up. I thought you were going to be a coward for the rest of your life. Yi Tian's body suddenly twisted and caught Chen Feng's fist with one punch. The two fists collided, and in an instant, Chen Feng's figure flew backwards. Yi Tian followed closely behind and punched Chen Feng fiercely. Just as Chen Feng was about to use his supernatural powers, he discovered that there was a strange light in Yi Tian's eyes, and all his supernatural powers had become ineffective at this moment. Yi Tian laughed strangely and said, without your superpowers, how much strength do you have left? I've finally been waiting for this day. Chen Feng, fight me. It was the first time that Yi Tian's fist landed on Chen Feng's face. This was the face that he had always hated and wanted to kill in his dreams. It was the first time that he hit it. Boom! Chen Feng's face was distorted by his punch, and the Great Supreme will attached to it invaded his body in an instant. No wonder you suddenly became stronger. Feeling Yi Tian's change, Chen Feng gritted his teeth and smiled. At the same time, his right leg had condensed a wave of energy and kicked fiercely towards the opponent's abdomen. This is his new move. Unfortunately, a void power suddenly appeared in Yi Tian's abdomen, which actually dissolved all his attacks. Yi Tian punched Chen Feng in the face again. Chen Feng's face suddenly looked a little ugly. Seeing this, Yi Tian burst into laughter, but his hands did not stop moving and he kept punching out with heavy punches. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Chen Feng, you also have a day. While Chen Feng kept using his arms to block Yi Tian's attacks, Yi Tian kept attacking Chen Feng's abdomen with his knees. With lightning speed, each strike carries a terrifying force capable of piercing through mountains and seas. Boom, boom, boom. When the huge amount of energy passed through Chen Feng's abdomen, thunder and lightning were heard, and Chen Feng's face became more and more painful. The smile on Yishan's face became brighter. Another punch hit Chen Feng's face. Blood flowed from the corner of Chen Feng's mouth. He was then punched to the ground by Yi Tian again. Call out. Chen Feng's body fell to the ground uncontrollably, his face full of dejection. Chen Feng, die. This is your move. Familiar, right? Yi Tian began to accumulate energy in his hands and created a ball of energy. When it was about to be launched, he noticed that Chen Feng smiled for the first time. The human race is saved. It's time to have a serious fight with you. Hearing Chen Feng's words, Yi Tian was stunned. He looked up and realized that Chen Feng had resolved the entire attack on the human base without realizing it. The next moment, Chen Feng appeared in front of Yi Tian. The other party wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and looked at Yi Tian seriously. Yi Tian, in fact, what you thought has always been right. You are not wrong. Hearing Chen Feng's words, Yi Tian's expression changed slightly. What do you mean? Although he wanted to kill Chen Feng immediately, he wanted to know his last words before he died. I can tell you the trajectory of your life. If I weren't there, you would be the destined child of this world. Your life journey would be smooth sailing, and you would be favored by Tang Ying, Su Xiaoxiao, Lin Taotao, and of course, Hai Yun, Lu Qingyan, Corolla, and many other women. Even the sky god will take a liking to you and take you in as his disciple. An Emperor Hong will fall, and you will get his opportunities, and step by step reach the pinnacle of this world. Yi Tian listened carefully to every word and every sentence of Chen Feng. All the confusion and grievances in his mind seemed to have found an answer at this moment. He didn't know everything Chen Feng said, but he had a premonition of each and every one of them, and felt the pain of being taken away by Chen Feng. At this moment, Chen Feng's words seemed to prove it all. What do you mean? Yi Tian's eyes were filled with confusion, anger, and doubt. Chen Feng smiled and continued, but I will be your sacrifice, along with Xiaolong, Zhang Kun, my parents, and many other passers-by. Of course, I'm not saying I'm better than you. You are not wrong. In fact, we are the same kind of people. Since we are destined to confront each other. Why does it have to be you who wins? It can't be me. Chen Feng shouted angrily, and at the same time, the last bit of mental power remaining in the small world also returned. Congratulations to the host for completely integrating the small world. Chapter 224 One day with Chen Feng is more than 1 year with you. Along with the completion of the fusion of Xiaoyeji and Chen Feng. Chen Feng felt that he had completely escaped from the suppression of the laws of this world, and a strong feeling of fusion and connection developed between him and the small world. He is the master of the small world. Although he is still relatively weak compared to this big world, he is already one level higher in level. In the next level, all the previous supernatural powers were completely integrated at this moment. Now Chen Feng has reached the state of making his words come true. Super God state. As Chen Feng roared, his momentum surged again. The super God state that he had been unable to break through before was easily comprehended by him this time. As his hair turned light blue, Chen Feng felt a sense of relief and joy he had never felt before. However, when he transformed, Yi Tian attacked him again. Chen Feng, go to hell. This time, Chen Feng did not take any action. He just stepped back and 3 figures appeared in front of him. The icy cold Long Ruobing, the mature and charming Yi Shishi, and the pure and skilled Yi Ning. The moment Chen Feng merged with the small world, their strength increased dramatically again. 3 people appeared, all looking at Yi Tian. When Yi Tian saw the 3 men, his pupils shrank slightly, and the cruelty and madness in his eyes became even more intense. Wives, Yi Tian is your relative after all. It's up to you to decide how to deal with him. Whether you want to let him go or imprison him, I have no objection. Chen Feng said calmly. Now he gives his wives a choice. It is up to them to decide how to choose. But this time, there was no hesitation in the eyes of his 3 wives. They had seen through the eye of insight that Yi Tian was going to destroy the entire human race. And there was the matter that Yi Tian wanted to harm Chen Haoyu before. Even Yi Ning made the choice she was most unwilling to make at this moment. Brother, even if you are possessed by a demon, I am willing to acknowledge that you are my brother. But why did you attack Haoyu? He is my child, but you wanted to kill him without any hesitation. Yi Tian's momentum continued to soar. From the moment the little researcher merged with the small world, because of her close connection with Chen Feng, her power now surpassed that of Emperor Hong. But there was a hint of sadness in her eyes, because the man in front of her was her biological brother after all. After hearing Yi Ning's words, Yi Tian became even more crazy. So what if it's your child? As long as it's related to Chen Feng, every bit of it should be destroyed. Yi Ning, you should never, ever fall in love with Chen Feng. From the moment you married him, we no longer have any relationship. We are mortal enemies. That evil bastard Chen Haoyu deserves to die the most. You know, every time I see news about that evil creature, I am tortured. I wish I could kill him immediately, find you, and completely wipe you out from the world, only then can I dispel the hatred in my heart. As soon as Long Ruobing and Yi Shishi, who were standing by, flew forward, they saw the deep contempt in Yi Tian's eyes. You two bitches, don't give me any more excuses. You shameless, disgusting fellows, have lost all your dignity just for the power of the Chen family. 3 women sharing one man, what a slut. Hearing Yi Tian's insults, Yi Shishi and Long Ruobing turned pale. Being accused like this by their own relatives, even if they had 1,000 reasons, they found it difficult to speak at this moment. But the next moment, a mocking female voice sounded. Yi Tian, don't talk about my sisters. You are so noble and you think you are great, but you still owe me hundreds of millions of dollars, and you also used my valuable equipment. Why don't you pay me back? Instead of owing us everything, enjoying a little bit of everything, and then abandoning us in the end. You are a self-seeking parasite, a killer who harms your compatriots, a rat crawling in the dark, a coward who retreats at the critical moment. Even if you were half as upright and magnanimous as my husband Chen Feng, you would not have fallen to this point. How dare you scold others now? How can you have the nerve to do that? Hearing this, Yi Tianju's eyes flashed with disbelief and anger. It was Tang Ying who appeared in front of Yi Tian, and the mocking smile on her lips made Yi Tian feel heartbroken. Tang Ying's words pierced Yi Tian's heart deeply. The talent that he had always been proud of was what he used to exchange for the qualification and excuse of a person. But now he was exposed by Tang Ying in public. How could he not be angry? You are also a bitch. You act noble in front of me, but you are just a dog in front of Chen Feng. Before Yi Tian finished speaking, another woman appeared. Yi Tian, what else can you do besides gender-shaming us? You are not kind-hearted. Why do you only save women and bring me together with Sister Tang Ying and Sister Dao Dao? Are you really that clean? Su Xiaoxiao's figure slowly emerged, looking at Yi Tian with complex hatred in her eyes. You've repeatedly led us into danger, and even made my uncle your stepping stone. How can you have the nerve to reprimand us? When have you ever been grateful for the treasures you received from my Su family? When Yi Tian saw Su Xiaoxiao also appeared, he still wanted to quibble, but in the end, Lin Taotao's words completely broke through his bottom line. Can't you face your own heart even now? Yi Tian, how hypocritical and disgusting you are, have you never realized it? You are an extremely selfish guy, but you never admit it. Instead, you want to take advantage of other people's kindness and their opinions to achieve your own growth. You're really disgusting. This was the first time that Lin Taotao said such heartbreaking words, but her next words made Yi Tian completely collapse. To tell you the truth, on the first day with Chen Feng, I felt happier than working with you. Don't you understand? After hearing the usually calm and kind Lin Taotao say such heartbreaking words, Yi Tian finally took action. You die. You're all dead. As the terrifying gray energy filled the sky, Corolla's figure also emerged. True Spirit Arrow. The huge energy arrow seemed to have absorbed all the wood energy between heaven and earth and could pierce through any evil in the world. At this time, Chen Feng interrupted, Yi Tian. This is the elf princess. You went to the green forest to see her, right? Yi Tian's heart sank when he heard that. And the other wives of Chen Feng also appeared beside Chen Feng one by one. If you mess with my husband, I'll have wanted to kill you. The Ice Emperor attacked fiercely. You always call people cheap, you uneducated bastard. You said my husband is a traitor, but you are a loser. You are not a traitor, you just don't have the ability. That's right. Which woman would like such a loser? You are the human race, you are the elder human race. The human race leaders have tolerated you many times, but you betrayed the human race. You deserve to die. Many wives talked at once, rushing towards Yi Tian while attacking him mentally. Yi Tian was scolded and stammered, I. Finally, his face turned pale and he actually started to self-destruct. Chapter 225 All living things fear death. He actually chose to self-destruct. Is this Yi Tian's fate? But how could he give up on us so quickly? It's not in his character. Chen Feng's face became solemn when he saw the energy that was constantly expanding and seemed to be about to blow the entire world to pieces. But what surprised him even more was that Yi Tian's face was full of fear. No, that's not right. He didn't volunteer. Chen Feng discovered the problem and his body suddenly flew towards Yi Tian. He tried his best to control the process of Yi Tian's explosion, but he could only slightly delay it and could not suppress it completely. 5 energies that were beyond his imagination were colliding with each other, as if they had subjective consciousness, wanting to release Yi Tian's energy to the maximum extent. This energy is far beyond what Yi Tian can release subjectively. This is a trap that was set up long ago. Yi Tian is destined to sacrifice. If he makes a move, Yi Tian will be ignited directly like a huge bomb. Rather than calling it a bomb, the energy released in an instant is probably far greater than the total energy of the sun in billions of years. No, what's going on? I'm going to kill them. Why is my energy out of control? Damn it! Yi Tian saw Chen Feng in front of him with a terrified face and a twisted body. He tried to control his body, but it was impossible. He finally realized his fate. Am I going to die? No, I'm not done with revenge yet. I haven't killed Chen Feng yet. I haven't killed those bitches yet. I haven't become the strongest person in this world yet. I won't give in, I won't give in. Even for the first time, I wanted to survive. Yi Tian stared at Chen Feng, his eyes filled with anger, hatred, and distortion, but in the end it turned into a trace of inferiority and pity. Help, save me. Chen Feng, please save me. Yi Tian's voice was not loud, and it seemed that he had used up all his strength and dignity to say these few short words. However, when they fell into Chen Feng's ears, he could not believe it. He looked at Yi Tian and saw the other party's incomparable pain. At this moment, he was already a little regretful. He looked at Yi Tian and shook his head. I can't do that. Seeing this scene, Yi Tian's expression was also filled with incomparable pain and complexity. Chen Feng's heart also shrank. It turns out that even Yi Tian, facing the threat of death, would abandon something for the sake of survival. I deserve to die. I really deserve to die. But I really don't want to die yet. I still don't have a woman. Why does fate treat me like this? Yi Tian let out a final wail of pain. His strength at this moment has surpassed the level of God King, and even Chen Feng cannot stop such terrifying self-destructive energy. It only took Chen Feng a split second to think of a solution, but when he thought of this solution, a hint of helplessness flashed in his eyes. System, you said that I am no match for those supreme masters, right? Yes, that's right. Even now we are not opponents. You may be able to deal with 1, but if you deal with 5, you will definitely die. Oh, system, you said you would give me a gift package at the critical moment. Yes, but it may not solve your problem. After all, the opponent is too strong. I am really not sure. Hearing the system's response, at this moment, Chen Feng hesitated. Yi Tian is about to self-destruct. This terrifying energy can not only destroy the entire extraterritorial battlefield, but it can also destroy the human territory and dozens of surrounding races. Most of the battlefield outside the domain may become a dead zone. The solution is very simple. As long as he teleports and takes it away from the battlefield outside the domain, the problem will be solved. The problem is that teleportation requires the presence of sensing energy. Except for Blue Star, he could only vaguely sense those auras deep in the void. Or return to your own little world. On the other side of the extraterritorial battlefield, no creature was strong enough to make him feel its aura. The auras now seemed to be exceptionally strong. It's like wanting to lure him into the game. Either he would witness the destruction of the human base with his own eyes, and his children, his fellow human beings, and most of the elite human beings would die. Either he goes to the small world, or if the small world is destroyed, he will die. Or, go find those supreme beings. At that moment, he would not have the chance to teleport back again. He will be killed too. At least the terrifying energy that Etienne displayed was only a small part of what was in front of them. But can the system opportunities be useful? He is not sure. Chen Feng hesitated. My children and my people died, but I am not dead. I can take my wives back to the small world and lead the remaining humans on Blue Star to glory. I am a time traveler, and my interests are paramount. If they really want to die, then let them die. One day, I will surpass the highest. This is the safest and most beneficial option for me. Otherwise, if I really die, the human race will surely be destroyed. My death is related to the future of the human race. I cannot die. Even Emperor Hong will agree with my approach. The system also reminds at this moment, this is indeed the safest approach. But, when Chen Feng felt the aura of the children, his eldest brother Hongdi, his second brother Qingdi, and Chen Zan, he was really touched, and his eyes became a little moist. Damn it, with the memories of the original body, I took over his body and enjoyed his treatment. And finally I'm going to kill him. I am a beast. I am a time traveler. Or rather, I am also Chen Feng in this world. I was really influenced by my original memory. Or rather, this is me from another world. I just got the memories and golden finger of the time traveler Chen Feng. Ha 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 ha, both of them should be me. Chen Feng's eyes gradually became firm. Having seen the cowardice, greed and fear of death of the angels, and Etienne's final will to beg for mercy, he understood that everyone is afraid of death. This is the function of matter. He is also afraid of death. Especially after feeling the terrifying power of the Supreme Being, he was almost certain that if he fell into the hands of the other party, his treatment would be no less than that of Kesha and the dead beast. I can't ask for sex, and I can't ask for death. He is afraid. Ha 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 ha, system, this is your choice to test my humanity, right? Isn't that right? Are you afraid that I might be a bad person, so you're testing me on purpose? You must be 100% sure that you can turn the tables on me and keep me alive. When Chen Feng thought of this, he suddenly started teleportation with Etienne, who was on the edge of the explosion. No, I didn't lie to you, host, you should stay here in the end. This time, the reward is beyond my control, it's random. Chen Feng gritted his teeth and said, no, you fucking lied to me. If you don't help me turn the tables, I'll give you a 1-star bad review. Even after I die, I'll go to the Zudian system to complain about you. Question mark. Chapter 226 Time Loop. Don't die. I'm also going to find a wife who is more beautiful than me. I also want to have good birth and upbringing, and have many children and good fortune. The moment he took Etienne away, Chen Feng had already made preparations to come back again. In just a split second, I may not be left behind. Before the figure appeared outside the void, Chen Feng wanted to teleport away again. However, his body slowly emerged. Chen Feng's face turned pale as he appeared in front of the 5 supreme beings. 5 of you, sorry for the wait. Chen Feng looked at the 5 supreme beings, a helpless smile appearing on his face. The 5 supreme beings of light, void, chaos, star clan, and demon clan were all looking at him. Chen Feng could vaguely see 5 beings, and they were all beautiful women. However, any one of the opponents had the ability to kill him instantly, and he did not appreciate their feelings at all. In the next moment, Etienne, who was about to detonate, exploded. Right now, the ultimate reward is being distributed. Congratulations to the host for getting a chance to travel through time and space. Do you want to use it immediately? Hearing the urgent voice of the master in his mind, Chen Feng dared not hesitate, but in an instant, he chose to act. Cross time and space for me now. Accompanied by a white light appearing on Chen Feng's body, he soon felt that he had entered a long river of time and space. Although time and space are not supernatural powers, no one has ever been able to go back. Only something as perverted as the Tongtong could allow him to travel back in time. In the long river of darkness, Chen Feng continued to move forward. Across time and space. This is the trump card that Tong gave me. Since I am no match for them now, I can go back to the past and work hard to repair the chain. Their talents are not as good as mine. As long as I can go back far enough in time, I will be able to surpass them. Chen Feng thought so as he kept crossing into an even more distant time and space. 1,000 years. 1,000 years. No, it's not safe enough. 100,000 years. If it's any longer, it will be too hard to wait. When the time span reached about 100,000 years, Chen Feng wanted to stop, but found that he could not stop at all. There was a stream of energy that kept pushing him forward. What's going on, sir? I think 100,000 years is enough time. It's enough for me to cultivate to surpass those supreme beings. When Chen Feng saw this situation, he quickly called for Tong. Reply to the host, if you choose to stop now, you will create another timeline. Even if one thing is changed, it actually happened in another parallel time and space, so the system does not recommend you to do this. After hearing the reminder from Tong, Chen Feng reacted instantly. If he enters any time and space, it will cause a butterfly effect and change something, so there will be an extra time and space. Even if he kills the 5 supreme beings in that time and space, he cannot restore the current situation. However, Chen Feng continued to move forward, which reminded him of the rumors about the true God of the human race. I already have a premonition in my heart. So, what do you mean? Host, you have already thought of it. The timeline of this world should form a closed loop. Go forward to the end of the road, 87,340,000 years ago. There, you will lead the human race to the battlefield outside the domain. Chen Feng finally understood. I know. I was wondering how someone could be so awesome that he could lead the human race to conquer all the worlds tens of millions of years ago. It turns out to be me. The one who cannot be named as me, Chen Feng. As Chen Feng continued to move forward, he finally saw the time point that belonged to him. Call out. Accompanied by a flash of white light, Chen Feng appeared in a wilderness. And his spiritual consciousness spread out instantly. The blue star in this world is still a dynastic society. It seems that I still have to lead them out of blue star. It won't be easy. Chen Feng noticed this, but a smile appeared on his face. Even though his strength was greatly damaged after crossing time and space, he was still above demigod and would soon be able to recover to the realm of true God. But the emperor here really kills people indiscriminately. I will take your place. Chen Feng noticed that in front of the palace, a minister was being executed along with his entire family, and his figure suddenly appeared there. Countless armored guards saw a man in strange clothing appear. Boom! The man raised his hand, and countless weapons disintegrated instantly, and the entire sky and earth of the imperial city changed color. The sky, which was clear just now, suddenly became overcast. Boom! Between lightning and thunder. God is kind-hearted, so why does he want us to kill people here? Chen Feng put his hands behind his back, with a halo of destruction flashing continuously on his body. He looked at the soldiers who were horrified and frightened to the point of their legs going limp and lying on the ground begging for mercy. God, please spare me. God, please spare me. It was the dog emperor who asked us to do it. It was him, not us. May the gods of heaven see clearly. May the gods of heaven see clearly. He saw that all the guards were so frightened that their faces turned pale, and even the ministers' families behind them all knelt on the ground and cried out for justice. Lord God, my Ruvuhai family has always cared for the common people. We have never done anything evil. I hope the God will see clearly. Chen Feng's spiritual sense could easily judge a person's goodness, evil and lies, so he naturally knew what was going on. A mere emperor, yet he kills people indiscriminately and commits evil. Today I will kill him. There are still some evil officials who have been doing evil in the court. I will kill them all today. From now on, you will be in charge of the government. After hearing the words of the god, Ruai's brain froze. Before he could react, he saw Chen Feng raising one hand and countless energy balls were released. Boom boom boom. In a moment, people all over the country saw an incredible scene. Be it wealthy businessmen who do evil every day, evil officials, or bandits who have committed serious crimes, they were all killed completely in an instant by a ball of destructive light. After doing this, Chen Feng had already thought of his next plan. While I recover my strength, I will lead the human race to a state where everyone is like a dragon, completing the closed loop of history. However, this ancient woman is still pretty good. Chen Feng looked at the shivering little daughter of his father's family beside him. She was pretty and graceful, in her prime. Brother Tongzi, you should be able to get the reward of good breeding in this world, right? Able. It seems that I have to work hard to develop the strength of this world. 10 years later. Chen Feng's harem finally has 3,000 beauties. The strength of the human race also skyrocketed. Chen Feng unified the world and proclaimed himself the Emperor of Man. He led the human race of this world to conquer foreign battlefields and attack the small worlds of various alien races. It is known in history as the human race's conquest of the heavens. Another 10 years passed. The 5 supreme beings have not yet reached the realm of true gods and are submitting to Chen Feng. Meet the god. We can meet everyone's needs. 10 years later, Chen Feng returned to Blue Star and cut off his connection with the battlefield outside the domain. Another 10,000 years. All his wife and children in this world eventually left him. Chen Feng sighed deeply. During the period when he was not paying attention to state affairs, chaos broke out again among human beings because of power and interests. The civilization brought by Chen Feng was destroyed. Originally, Chen Feng was worried that he would change history and a super-technological era would appear in the future. It turned out that he was overthinking it. Without external pressure, humans will destroy themselves. After giving instructions to the 5 Supreme Ones, the script will still proceed in the original order. Including the 5 people's plan to make Chen Feng arrive at the void battlefield, only they could meet. Maybe this is one of the characteristics of human beings. Chen Feng didn't want to interfere anymore, and his figure slowly disappeared. Back to the long river of time. Return again. The 5 Supreme Ones finally saw Chen Feng's face clearly after a flash of light. All 5 girls knelt down, extremely excited. Ku Ren, it's really you. I've met Ku Ren. We have been waiting for you so long. I saw 5 beautiful women crawling in front of me. Chen Feng's heavenly body, which had its own special ability, finally moved. You have caused me so much pain, you deserve to be punished. This book is finished. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audio Wave to stay updated with our latest stories. And never miss out on a great listen.